Pause. No one is surprised that you ate that. That is the least twist turn of events in any song ever. I get it. I know, Joe. I'll take this. Keep playing.
God, fucking drive up. Shit.
Her natural hair.
Yeah. It's a different song than Ryan Adams after the morbidly obese land whales of summer have gone.
Remember when Sydney Sweeney did the same ad but with cornrows?
Yes, exactly. She came after a crappy cruise.
And sing about her first choice for dining, Waffle House.
What sensitivity do you have it on?
You guys need to lay off Waffle House and
I think I just have it at whatever the default settings are.
That makes sense, though.
Like me with Harvard. Am I safe? Now,
Sure.
I don't know if Lizzo has a great sense of humor or just doesn't understand, because she posted this on her official account 5 days ago, said if Democrats won the election.
Is she funny? This is kind of funny.
But then her caption is, my jeans are black. But she's wearing blue jeans. So do you think she thinks it's just spelled G-E-N-E? It's like there's a language barrier, but it's just an IQ barrier.
I think that she's there. I think she's on the cusp of a joke.
I don't know if she's on the crust of a joke.
How did
She's
she
on the cheese-filled crust of a joke.
How did she make her face look fatter in that picture?
You know, it's all the
She didn't do it. Somebody else did that.
She made the picture, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, someone else made that.
No. She found clothes, a pose, and lighting that made her face fatter.
She J.D. Vance memed herself?
Yes, she did.
Which leads me to believe maybe she's funny.
I don't know. I doubt it. But she could be. I have no idea. Somebody who plays the pan
have to be
flute
learning
naked
controls.
at Jefferson Memorial, whatever the hell it is. I get that none of that is factually correct. But you understand the general gist. She played a flute. Was it she played Madison's flute?
Madison's flute, yeah. In a thong. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Classy.
Sequence,
Enemy forces have taken objective Charlie.
So anyways, this is probably brilliant. It's brilliant. Sydney Sweeney, America, like, you cannot pay for this kind of advertising. And so, telling American Eagle, hey, hold my Bud Light, that's foreshadowing. Levi's just decided to release their new ad with Beyonce. They're just like you. Pause. Was she putting diamonds in the dryer at a laundromat?
Rhinestones.
Rhinestones.
Steven.
Okay. Science. Already none of this makes sense.
It's like scent beads. Some people put, like the downy scent beads. Some people put rhinestones.
A bucket? Like it's a petting zoo of scent beads?
It's a bucket and a mop. Rhinestone on my...
There you go. Okay, she's putting rhinestones. By the
Oh
way,
my God, that
she
was
is
horrible.
going to void the warranty on that speed clean dryer.
I thought those were quarters. I was like, she's doing it wrong.
Yeah, she is doing it wrong.
Put it in the top.
But
It says do not attempt on the bottom there.
Oh, wow.
Guys, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Beyonce invented country music. Let's continue.
I need a fucking medic!
And nice booty.
No.
Yeah.
Pause. Okay. So here's the problem. This is why it's like Sydney Sweeney. She was just dressed, in jeans, and you could say Canadian tuxedo. Most people don't wear that, but it's something that you've seen people
Shit.
wear. In this case,
Can I
she's
not open
dressed
the-
like Lloyd Christmas at the resort.
The scoreboard on my
Like, this is
controller?
not. It's not something people can relate to. Hey, a classic muscle car and someone wearing jeans at the throwback. In this case, she's wearing rhinestones, putting them in a dryer, and dressed like a cartoon character. But let's continue. They're
What is
just
her
like,
teammate doing?
all of it.
we have Bravo under attack.
His pants down?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude, holy fuck, there's like 8 of them,
She
dude.
can't ride that motorcycle. No. She's putting rhinestones
There's a
in
guy
the
in
dryer.
their building with
Well, you
like
think she's gonna know how to use
we're
it?
with him right now.
I
There's a
loved
fucking
it.
All right.
bunch of
Okay.
people.
Are you serious?
He's just being a counterculturalist thing. He
No,
loves, he
I'm
thinks Lizzo's hot.
Yeah,
he
he
thinks
does.
that's a run-of-the-mill daily outfit with rhinestones up the side of your lower back.
Fuck, this is a big building.
It's like,
Hey, come on. Gerald used to wear those jeans.
it's like Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle says, you know what, we gotta get away from all this LGBTQAI and all this stuff that's completely out of touch. Let's just create something that resonates with middle Americans, right? People who wear jeans. And then Levi's like, we gotta do the same thing. Beyonce, you know how to reach the American middle class. She's like, yeah, I'm thinking like rhinestones and I'm like Timothy Elephant and ride a motorcycle.
Dude, how does that not hit him? He's in the same room as the fucking RPG.
Yeah, people can
Wow.
copy paste
And
themselves
I just hit him with an
onto
RPG and
you
didn't hit him.
in this. So it's just not the same thing. It's still going for the glamour. It's still going for the Hollywood feel. It's the opposite. It's anti-American Eagle type ad, which, by the way, was anti this kind of ad. It's like inception of horrible advertising. Somewhere, the real Don Draper is swallowing strychnine. But here is CNN reacting to this ad this morning.
Ads for jeans have caused quite a stir lately. Now Levi's getting out on the
Because
action
of
with
you.
an ad featuring Beyonce.
We've lost control of objective Alpha.
The denim cowboy, a perfect fit as a singer.
Dude, when I'm shooting at someone and they die, the fucking aim assist goes so fucking crazy.
You're a gay man if you say Queen Bee. And I found that one out the
gun
hard
wasn't
way because I had a
reloaded,
man
okay.
get mad and say you shouldn't insult Queen Bee like that.
I know exactly what you're talking
And it took me a minute to process the gayness where I was like, oh, you're one of them.
Yeah, well, now you know not to say that to me again.
I'm sorry. Well, here's what it is. Here's what it comes down to: authenticity. Look, Sydney Sweeney is not claiming, and that's why I say Girl Next, really pretty version of Girl Next Door. Doesn't look to me like a supermodel, but pretty version of Girl Next. It's relatable. It's about authenticity. It seems like something she would wear. She would wear jeans. She probably would like an old muscle car. There's nothing authentic about this. Levi's is trying to sell to the heartland. She's not authentically country. She doesn't know country music, Beyonce. Her music was not actual
they-
country,
they
and
even
now
have
she's trying to act
fucking
like she hangs out
Site D,
at
dude.
line dancing bars with Timothy Oliphant after fornicating with him, even though we all know that she's married to a former crack dealer. So none of it resonates. And they'll wonder why it's not success. How much you want to bet they will say it's because of racism?
Holy fuck,
That's
dude.
what they're
Why?
hoping for. They're hoping
Wow,
to
dude,
dine
this
out on
menu
that
is horrible
controversy.
on
Let me
controller.
give you some numbers here, and I can't necessarily say that correlation equals causation, but American Eagle, right after Sydney Sweeney, the ad, the stock jumped 17%. Levi's, that ad I believe just came out yesterday or the day before, stock declined by 0.28%. Now, that doesn't mean that Levi's is done. I'm just saying in comparison, that's 17.28% less.
What it does mean is that they're not having a big jump.
Right.
They're not having a huge drop like a big opposite comparison, but it's not jumping.
Enemies are attacking objective
No,
Delta.
no. How much you want to comment? How much do you want to bet they blame this on racism when it doesn't work?
Right. Like you put a pretty white girl in an ad and all of a sudden it flies.
Do you know how to get
I don't think Beyonce's ugly. It's not my type. Fine,
tactical
whatever.
layout
You
like
know,
on
put a pretty
COD?
black
Because
girl
I
in
don't
an
know
ad
how
and
to
it doesn't
fucking
work.
get
It's
to
like,
that.
no, it's just a stupid ad.
Yeah, well, you know, if you want to just pick
And it won't tell me
how
what
about
the
one is
different
in their
layouts
20s
are.
and one is in their
What it
40s or
means.
50s, however old Beyonce is.
And it's not the authenticity
Then
part.
How about that?
controls.
How about the target market for American Eagle or Levi's typically
Yeah, but
and or Jay-Z
doesn't fucking say anything.
album purchases? Like there's some crossover, but
I
let's
buy
just,
Levi's.
there's
There's edit
nothing wrong with
presets, but-
Levi's.
They got a nice white seat.
Yeah.
There you go.
But if they go the woke route and go, oh, it's because of racism, guess what? You're going to see another Bud Light. Now, this is nowhere near
Are being
as
put on
bad
these shit
as the
teams.
rock bottom that I'm about to. Every now and then we introduce you to new, whether they're exclusive because of Muckled Undercover or just something that a lot of people haven't caught. Jim Acosta. He was at CNN. He's not now. And we see this a lot. Yeah, we see this a lot where they go online and they can't compete in the online space, right? Without the budget, without the marketing,
Charlie has
without
been
this
neutralized.
fake aura of success, they crash and burn. And then when they don't have advisors and they don't have people who sort of act as filters, you get to see really who they are and what kind of ideas they bring to the table. Right, Jim Acosta. What did Jim Acosta think was a good idea?
Marked objective under threat.
tell you.
Let's defend the position.
Is a real thing. Jim Acosta interviewed an AI version of King Oliver, a kid who was murdered in Parkland, Florida.
Idiot
at a
teammates,
school
man.
shooting. And thought this was going to go over well. So this right now, it only has 5,900 views, like 100 comments, has 301 likes, 708 dislikes. Here's Jim Acosta. And let's just do away with this idea, like, oh, both sides politicize it. No. Can you name me a single conservative Republican ever who interviewed a dead person through AI to try and push for constitutional
Wow, he just hit
carry?
me with a sniper
The
shot.
left has no
Diving
shame
down
whatsoever.
a
So here's
staircase,
Jim
bro.
Acosta interviewing an AI version of a child, now grown up through AI,
Buying the
who
lottery
was
ticket,
killed in Parkland, Florida, in order to push a gun control agenda. It's as bad as you think.
Today is August 4th, happy birthday of my first guest. Joaquin Oliver died in the Parkland school shooting in Florida back in 2018. Well, and Patricia have created an AI version of their son to deliver a powerful message on gun violence. Danny asked me if I'd like to be the first reporter to have the chance to interview Joaquin. Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school. It's important to talk about these issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be.
Dude, like, it just seems like even if I spawn up my
Great
own flag,
question.
I'm
I believe in a
only
mix of stronger
near
gun
enemies,
control
bro.
laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
What do you think about punctuation?
Now, of course, I know you are like
teammates
many
just
people who
running
believe
past
it to be
enemies.
tasteless.
Two of our
especially
squad
after,
members
Costa interviewed the shooter who turned out to be a hologram
just
of
ran
Tupac.
past two enemies.
So this seems to be, yeah, Tupac. It's
Are you
and
in
then
a
the
tank?
following segment was him interviewing
Yeah.
Tranny Senior
Yeah,
Wences.
so everyone
The point
on
is
our
he's just doing
squad
this on a
except you is a
shoestring
retard.
budget.
Free surgery. Free surgery.
Like, here's the thing too. When people talk about Alex Jones and they talk about Sandy Hook and all, there is truth to it. If the parents decide that this is a good idea, these are people who are using the death of their child to politicize this whole issue and to make horrible points, by the way, in a very, very uncomfortable way. This is the left. They're okay doing this. Don't ever let them say that you're standing on the graves of children, because he's literally interviewing a, well, not would be, a dead child grown up in the form of the creepiest AI that you can imagine. And the left thinks that this is going to convince you to give up your firearm. By the way, he made the interview even more awkward. It goes on and gets worse.
Guac, I want to know what your favorite basketball team is.
I'd probably go with the Miami Heat. They have such a passionate fan base and an exciting playing
they did in
style. How about you?
2018,
Do you have a favorite basketball player?
Oh yeah, I definitely like LeBron James.
Of course you do.
You like him?
LeBron is incredible. His skills on the court and his leadership off it are truly inspiring. He's made such a huge impact in the game and
That's how
beyond.
people talk.
Definitely. Whenever LeBron is signed, I always have to watch it.
What about you?
Right.
Do you have a favorite
Even
movie?
if you don't need it.
Oh, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, it's got to be Luke Skywalker. I love Luke Skywalker. What about you?
This guy just pre-fire.
Luke Skywalker is a
Like a
classic
sniper?
hero. His journey from a farm boy to a Jedi is so inspiring. I'd probably say Yoda is one of my favorites too. What do you love most about Luke?
I like that Luke became the hero. He came from a very small planet, and he eventually became a Jedi and saved the day.
Now, either Jim Acosta knows nothing about basketball or media and is
Hard getting
handling,
shot, dude.
Just picking the first, like,
Bro,
do you
who
like,
is this guy, bro?
Yeah, I like LeBron. What do you like to Star Wars? Who do you like? Luke Skywalker. Either he's just pandering, or he is the most boring,
Shocked.
clueless human being alive.
Dude,
I
that was
wish I
terrible,
was dead
man.
when I was
What
watching this.
the
And
fuck?
showing that AI
For you
is
to get the
becoming more and more
scoreboard, do you
lifelike.
just click
After the interview,
the options button, or is
Joaquin
it something
AI
else?
killed himself. So
It's
that
the
is how this whole
touchpad.
thing ended. And you would think, look, we try things sometimes here. We're like, okay, that didn't work.
Right.
So you think that Jim Acosta would go like, this is really uncomfortable. This
Wow,
has
even though
gone
I died
poorly.
like
And you
8
know what? We'll get him
times
next
in
time.
the menu,
But
I still
instead,
only went
he decided
two
to
negative.
continue. And this is why the left loses. Because
Wow,
you can see that he's
783?
actually earnest here. He talked with Joaquin's father. And
Yeah, one of our squad members,
actually remarked how lifelike what you just
two
saw,
people
the AI,
ran
how-
and passed him
how
on a
authentic it
staircase. Like,
felt.
there's no
I
way
have to
that you
say,
don't see
I'm,
them
I'm kind of speechless
on a thin
as
staircase.
to the technology
And he-
there.
and he
I mean, it was so insightful, and I really felt like I was speaking with Joaquin. It's just a beautiful
ya?
thing.
You know him? You knew him? Because to me, that didn't sound like anybody in particular. It sounded like an AI bot. who knew where Joaquin lived, Florida, and said, "Oh, Miami Heat," and then knew some facts about Star Wars because it's on the
This
internet.
game's
Why
starting.
would you say that about AI, Josh? Do you have opinions on AI as well, Gerald?
Still matchmaking for me.
Michael Jordan played basketball.
Yes,
he
he
was
did.
good. Has best career statistics.
Okay, yeah.
Wayne Gretzky. Insightful?
Super weird.
Insightful? I like the Miami Heat. I like LeBron. Luke Skywalker. We should ban guns. That's what this whole thing is.
Yes.
Using effectively an animated corpse. This is why the left loses, guys. Please, Jim Acosta, please keep doing this. And you know what? Welcome to the show.
Oh, see, I do really like it so far.
We're not gonna just have. We're not gonna just.
I just want
to defend this. I just
some more
want you, Mr.
OG
Acosta,
Battlefield maps.
to pitch to me, treat it like it's idiot why this was a good idea and what you hope to achieve.
And also, what are your plans for the future? Who else
And
will
if
you
that
interview?
means
No
bringing
one
back
can tell the future.
actual
That's the beauty
OG
of
maps.
life, Josh. None of us have a crystal ball. Gerald, what are your plans for today?
Because there was one from Battlefield 4 where it was completely open, but it was so good. It was, I think, like
I've
coordinated
seen this
railway.
technology used in other ways that are actually kind of interesting and well,
Couldn't get tired
not
of it.
necessarily better. There's not a whole lot better that you can do with it. I think
Anything is better.
Remember the time
Bring out Megan would be better.
that letter that Gerald wrote to that gay camp was great.
that worked
That was
out.
all AI.
Don't
Had
forget our
personality.
slogan. Shh, don't tell the grown-ups.
It really felt like it was different.
No, one is the thing that freaks me out the most about this. I've seen this before, so it doesn't freak me out as much. It's weird, whatever. I get it. It's uncomfortable for sure. Did he even have those views, or is this just something that you plugged into him? I know that people are probably like, duh, he probably didn't. But that, for me, that's the most offensive part.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
this person, you're using this person to maybe say stuff they would never even actually say or have ideas they never even actually had. So it's not even authentic.
well, the real issue is the gaslighting thing. So whenever there's a mass shooting, right? And you've heard me talk about this, where I say, I wish I could just come out and say, hey, my heart goes out to the families of those affected, thoughts and prayers, of course, and it's a time for mourning. But I can't do it because before the bodies assume room temperature, they are pushing for gun control. And then they try and accuse you of politicizing it. When you go, no, hold on a second. 94% of mass shootings are in gun-free zones. No, wait, hold on a second. 500,000 to 3 million defensive uses of firearms every year. It's not even remotely close when you compare it in a ratio to homicide. Hold on, we need to be honest. Why are you politicizing us? Why don't you care about the dead children? This is, when they say both sides politicize it, genuinely, can you think of anything this egregious from anyone on the right as far as interviewing an AI version of a dead child to push an agenda? And that's not rhetorical. If there is, I'd like to know so that I can mock that person as well. And for those of you still wondering, Josh.
I was like, can you imagine
Dude, this-
if somebody from the right had taken Laken Riley and put her in an AI generator to push deportations and immigration policies?
Right.
It'd be sickening.
Of course.
You can deepfake a politician saying something egregious, but they can defend themselves.
Isn't guys with LMGs that have
Especially politicians. You're up, dude. You're
medic
up
kit.
for grabs. When you put yourself out there as a politician, you are allowed to make fun
Well,
of
you can
yada, yada,
you can
yada.
swap out
Something
guns
that,
like
just
between
a kid
classes. So.
Killed in a school shooting.
And then we're graded as less accurate by whatever that media watchdog do because we have jokes. They say ad hominem reduces your accuracy. Well, we provide actual references, and we never would. Actually, that's not true. I absolutely would interview an AI statistician if I thought it would be funny enough.
There's a bunch of guys.
I
Like, I
actually think
don't
we need to
even know
interview
how to
the
spot.
AI version of the dead mother pile. That's how Richard shot. That Rosenbaum. There he is. Let's input that. You know what? We're gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah, but he's a piece of crap.
Yeah, I know. But
They're also not off limits.
no, they're not. No matter whether they're alive or dead. But Jim Acosta, thank you for the idea. We're just going to take it and make it, good. And if people are wondering as to
There's a guy in the building on
why
the top left.
Jim Acosta, keep in mind, the guy who was at CNN who tried to present himself as objective. CNN tried to present him as objective, and
Need to get prepared. I think I'm
But now we get to see it in real time online without filter.
Yeah, I'm just fucking walking off this point then. Yeah, if you want to get points for pairing me, just stay behind me.
Not listening to that.
The President of the United States is a danger to this country.
How do you ping on controller?
L1, I think.
Oh my god, that's decent. Okay. I saw a bunch of guys head glitching the boulders over here.
than me, others have to stand up straighter.
Well, you know a lot about that. Also, by the way, remember, that is Brian Stelter's man cave. Bring that back up as a still. He willingly broadcasts from a room that looks like your grandmother's bathroom, where the toilet seat would be that soft vinyl that feels like you're sitting on someone else's butt cheek.
Yeah, with a carpet floor.
The carpet floor and like cracks in the vinyl because someone clearly missed and it scrapes you.
Yeah.
That's...
All right, objective Alpha is under control. Enemy attack is
He's
underway.
literally the only person you can put in a split screen with Jim Acosta that makes it work.
It's true. Unbelievable. Think about this for a
Dog,
second.
you're almost
And by the way,
dead.
the best way to follow us here is
Yo.
follow me on there. You'll know when
Stupid
we are
things
live.
in my way.
It's 11 a.m. weekdays.
That looked
Every
hilarious.
weekday, but that's the best way to stay in touch. Don't have to depend on some kind of algorithm there, YouTube or Meta. Think about Jim Acosta. Do you honestly think, now that you see him, and you'll see the same thing with Colbert, you'll see the same thing with a lot of these actors and comedians who start their own podcasts after this. Do you think he got that job because he was best? Or same thing with Brian Stelter. Have you looked at that guy's resume? It doesn't exist. You wonder how they got these jobs. Now, you may not like me, you may not like anyone here. Let's use Andrew Wilson as an example who's been here. You may hate him, but he's out there debating people. He's taking on all comers, anyone who will, sitting down, he's getting the reps, and people here have had to get up on stage in any town USA for thousands of dates to see if we can make it work, to make people laugh.
Hey, can you repair me?
For me, Fox News at one point was HLN, CNN, doing all this content online. What is Jim Acosta? Do you think Jim Acosta has ever actually debated anyone on a level playing field? Do you think he's ever actually had to win over a crowd? Win over a crowd who doesn't know who he is? Do you think he's ever actually had to provide references or be accountable to his audience? These people are not selected even remotely because of their capabilities, and you see that when they go online. And the audience, the free market, can dictate. And guess what? These people are never chosen. They're never chosen. And so, like a feminist who finds himself 55 years old and a crazy cat lady, you have these former broadcasters, and now they have a decision to make. Well, wait a second. Was I never really qualified? Was I never really a good journalist? Was I never really any good, or is it everyone else's fault? Let's blame Trump. Let's blame new media. Let's control it. Let's censor it. Let's have a department of misinformation, even though we don't provide any references and our competitors do. Let's blame everyone else because me, Jim Acosta, Brian Stelter, we must be good. That's the world they live in. Same thing with Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert could take 5 million instead of 15 million, and 100 employees instead of 200 employees. He knows he can't make it work. He will never say. The numbers traded together well. He will blame
Oh,
it
there's
on
a tank
you.
at the end of
Leave
that
us
street.
if they don't do well. We'll not blame it on their tone-deaf marketing that's relatable to no one.
Like a tank or like an infantry vehicle?
That's what the left does. They blame it
it's
on
pretty
you.
big,
They
so
blame their
it's
own failures on you.
Wait, that was Jim Acosta and Brian Stelter?
Right? Yes?
Oh, I thought that was like AI created a podcast with Jason Alexander and George Clooney.
Yes. Yes. If George Clooney, it's like in a parallel universe where he was gross.
Yeah, yeah.
Brian Stelter, how? How does that guy get a job? Can someone answer me? Does someone what dirt does he have on somebody? He's back. And I'm like, it's not jealousy. Bigger audience, make more than Brian Stelter. I mean, I'm going to give him a ton of money. I know because the dirt. A black man. Panic button. How?
Need a repair.
Ask these questions and we've never had answers. At least now you're starting to get an answer. You see these people unfiltered. Hey, go ahead.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Speaking of abysmal failure.
Yeah, I can't.
And my question for you is, what constitutes treason? That term is thrown around a whole lot. I do think that when you take an oath to represent citizens of this country, you must represent first and foremost citizens of this country. And to be their representative, you must first and foremost be a citizen of this country. And exclusively this country. So, Illinois Congress bitch Delia Ramirez said this in a conference with progressive legislators in Mexico City. She flat out said her loyalty is with Guatemala first. Is that so? Said Donald Trump in trading her back to her country's leadership. That's,
Sun God is pleased.
it's a Paco Facho.
fuck.
Thank the end of the series.
Guatemala sucks. It sucks. The United States is better, that's why you're here. But to say you're
Does that thing have a coaxial gun or just the
that's
main
a
gun?
problem. Just to give you an idea, members of Congress...
The main gun and then like the missile launcher.
Yeah, is available in the description. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So you will protect it against any foreign or domestic threats, and that you will pledge allegiance to the same. Does it sound like
Our
you're
main
pledging
tank
allegiance
is
to
to
the
your
United States
right.
when you say I'm first Guatemalan, for those who were listening on audio and didn't see the subtitle? She doubled down, by the way, on X and said, honoring my Guatemalan ancestry only strengthens my commitment to America. What? Cheating on my husband only makes me so I love my husband
That
more.
wants to go ahead of me, by all means.
That's the opposite of making sense. My commitment to America. That is the truth I carry with me always. It is the truth that many Americans carry with them. Nope. Anyone who denies our claim to
He
the
instantly got blown up,
because
so...
we honor our diverse heritage and immigrant views only exposes how fragile and small-minded your own idea of America really is. Yes, it's fragile.
There's a bunch of guys in these close right buildings at the top.
American. You're American first. She didn't
They
just
might
say
be
my background is Guatemalan.
anti-tank, I don't know.
No one has my background.
That, you can be proud of where you're from, and I'll also go as far as say this: you can hold that truth with you as an American. Sure, you're allowed to do that. You're not just an American. You're a congressman.
Yeah, and when you say I'm Guatemalan first, for example, Marco Rubio, my parents came from Cuba. They came from communism, they fled it, and they came to the greatest country in the world, and they were grateful to be here. There are plenty of people who come from a family of immigrants, and they're grateful to be here. But right now, at this moment in time, to say, I represent the people of America, but I am Guatemalan first. Well, that sounds to me like you're going to have to put the interest.
Yes. And put any country in there, and I know a lot of people online are asking for this one. If you say you're Israel first,
Yes.
if you say you're British first, Canadian first, I don't care, insert country here. We don't
Hey,
have
dude.
a congressperson anymore. We have somebody who's on the way out.
Right. And again, once again, I renounce my Canadian citizenship. I have many times. I don't know how to officially do it, but it was automatically granted to me to become an honest French Canadian. But I think Canada's a silly place where dreams go to die, and it's infected with homosexuals. So who is? Ramirez. Well, let me also tell you
Fuck,
this is
the
maybe
main
why this
tank
woman
is there.
So she was elected at the age of 35. This is a woman who has never worked in the private sector. Her entire adult life. She has never worked in the private sector. I also think that you should have to work in the private sector before you become a representative. Why? How would you know how to represent working Americans if you've never been one? Her husband is a dreamer, by the way, and most of her campaign donors are unions, government workers, and of course, surprise, surprise, Miss Guatemala first, which is just a silly thing to say because it's just a silly, fatty, shithole country. That's okay, we can say it now. It's a shithole country compared to, I don't know, Delaware, Rhode Island, for crying out loud, even Arkansas. I don't care. It's worse than every state. So no surprise, Guatemala first representative here wants to defund ICE. Ooh, no conflict of interest there.
It's time to escalate or fight back and push back against this fascism.
Support the attack.
It's time for us to reconsider what ICE is all about.
Fighting the government?
You know what? That actually gives me an idea. I would like to propose this. And of course, ICE is prioritizing dangerous threats, right? Violent criminals right now, but they will deport anyone who is here illegally if they run into them, as they should. We had time.
Okay, so I think I'm
Let's add one question when ICE is interrogating someone.
on engineer with an assault rifle. I
Do
can't
you
tell.
think that America is the greatest country? No, let's make it even simpler. Are you America first, or are you Mexico first, or Guatemala first, or Honduras first? If anyone said, it's not a trick question. If the answer is anything other than America first, that's correct. No more processing.
Shit behind us.
Wrong.
Fuck.
That means you, Ramirez. That means yes.
And
I
nobody's
say
watching
think
the
that
fucking
Ramirez
rear.
should at least be
How does a
deported
flank
to
tank-
Guatemala.
oh,
I
a
think
flank
that
tank, a
we
tank flank
should be
like that.
benevolent and we should send her to the place with which she identifies. You know,
And-
this is her first priority.
Yeah, she wants to make Guatemala better.
There you go.
Hey, make Guatemala great again.
There you go.
Well, great.
A one-way ticket to the nation with which you identify. We don't want you here. And just to be clear, it's not a race thing. Hey, if there's probably a Hispanic person right next to her who is grateful to be here. Maybe a Cuban American immigrant. Maybe an Argentine, maybe a Brazilian American immigrant. Because I'm so glad to be here. This is the greatest country in the world. Great. Now, do you have skills? Do you have some value that you can add to this country? Do you pay taxes? Okay, maybe you can stay. Well, wait a second. You identify with the country you left because there wasn't opportunity so that you could come here and browbeat Americans and then dictate policy so that we cannot deport pieces of
This
crap
gun's
like
horrible,
you?
dude.
Gone. By the way, in case you were wondering, yeah, she also endorsed Mamdani.
Imagine there's a
for
gun
mayor
that
of New York
has a
City.
slow rate of
she is-
fire
So here's the
and
problem.
has horrible
People who left
recoil.
Ireland, people who
Doesn't
left
even make
Italy,
sense.
you know, of course, Jews across Europe, the Polish folks who came, they came here and then they immediately were American. They came here because they were fleeing something. Right? So if people came here at one point in time from
Well,
the
if you want more
communist
ammo,
countries,
apparently you
Americans,
just
as an
spawn
example.
with
The single most
the repairing class.
single most
You
consistent
spawn with
conservative
3
Republican voting bloc.
times
Why? Because
as
they
much
fled
ammo.
communism. So they come here and go, I reject that. That's a very different immigrant than someone who tries to bring their communism and socialism over here. So she says Guatemala first and endorses a self-described socialist, Marxist, communist for mayor of a major American city, and then they wonder why you don't trust your institutions. Well, here's why. McCarthy was right. I think that there's a big red scare in our government. Why? Well, because you said you're Guatemala
Are you,
first and you
repairing me?
endorsed a communist for mayor of New York City. This isn't a conspiracy. I'm saying it
Trying to run
happened right in front of my
towards
eyes. You know
you,
who else
so I'm not-
endorsed the commie, Mamdani? Elizabeth Warren, the most awkward, Karen personified human being who's ever walked the planet. Let's go. Government grocery stores.
What Zoran is saying is I want people to be able to afford to live in New York City. That's what keeps it a vibrant city. That's what makes people want to live
Nobody
here.
disagrees with that, Senator, but raising taxes in order to do it? Why is that the answer?
Oh dear, are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry?
No, I'm worried that they're going to leave and spend their money elsewhere.
You know, they've threatened to do that over and over
And
again.
they have. They left.
But here's the thing.
And Goldman Sachs, when they create new jobs, they do it in Dallas. And Blackstone won't build a new headquarters.
You
Go
want
on and on.
So Elizabeth Warren. Here's the thing. Just think about the problems that the left creates, and then their solution is more government. Like let's just go. Okay, my perspective. Elizabeth Warren. So Elizabeth Warren, I'm done. Let's create government grocery stores. Right? It's socialize more programs, more affordable housing, even though it's never worked. Increase spending. Okay, then increase taxes on billionaires. Well, not on increase taxes. Period. Billionaires leave. Multimillionaires who employ people, they leave. Right? They've seen a net population loss. Okay, this is the result of their problems. And then they want to create a law that punishes people for leaving New York City. Remember that? So create the problem.
It's like nobody fucking repairs, man.
Use the iron fist of the government to prevent you
this gun
from
has so much
leaving. Well, they
recoil,
can
I can't
therefore
even
the working
control
class
that at
Americans
all,
and they're the
dude.
party of freedom. Okay, here's my solution. Don't do all the crap that forces people to leave in the first place. Just don't increase taxes. Just don't do government grocery stores. So don't create the problem. Me? Create the problem. Then forbid people from solving the problem for themselves in their own personal lives. And then, of course, tell everyone that you're the party of freedom. You say, stay out of our bedroom. Whenever the left acts as though they care about freedom or the Constitution, you know they're wrong. They only care about it as it relates to hardcore drugs, abortion, or two homos getting married. That's it. They don't care about your freedoms. They want to take everything that you make to put it into a grocery store that doesn't work and then forbid you from leaving. No wonder this person who's Guatemala first loves it, because that's the kind of country she comes from. You know, an inferior country. But hey,
Sounds like Cuba.
it sounds like.
Government stores, can't leave.
But these people, for some reason, are different from Cuban Americans, where they embrace the crap that they love. We don't want you here. Unless you abandon all of it, then we don't want you here. You're going to bring it here? No, you're not welcome. But if you disagree with me, look, you can send your support or your criticisms to our district in Illinois 3rd District. Call, ask her to clarify. Ramirez at 202-225-5701. That's Representative Ramirez. Guatemala
Wow, that was a
first.
teammate. There's no fucking
202-225-5701.
icon, dude.
5701. Okay.
You should see her totally not gerrymandered district.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, dude. It's like
Oh,
a sliver.
God.
It does not look like a natural district at all. It looks like a very gerrymandered district.
No, only the
which
right-
Illinois has done.
Only the right gerrymanders, like only the right criticizes issues. Hey, have you seen my AI dead child to push for gun control? Here's another error, though, calling balls and strikes on the right. There we go. This one's pretty bad.
Pissed a lot of people off yesterday.
Whoever is spearheading the messaging at the White House.
The skull is the number of kills you have, right?
It shouldn't have a job anymore.
Pump the brakes.
So we talked
You were
about this,
24
right,
and,
the
like,
declining
1 or some
support
shit,
for
so-
Israel.
Yeah.
In particularly
Whatever
young
the skull
Americans
was for
right now.
that.
And that doesn't determine what is right. You
I
know,
know
policy can't just
I
be
definitely
dictated
didn't
right.
die 24 times because I think I would have
It does
fucking rage
determine
quit if that
how
happened.
you navigate your messaging.
Oh.
And it seems as though those in this
Another
administration
black
have
guy.
said, well, yeah, we don't care. Because we want to reach that median viewer, which is 72 years old at Fox News. Let me give you this research. So on Monday, Axios released a DHS notice, which apparently found that FEMA disaster relief could be denied to states who boycotted Israel. Now, there's more to this story. A couple of twists here. This is from the article. It says discriminatory, prohibited boycott means refusing to deal, cutting commercial relations, or otherwise limiting commercial relations, specifically with Israeli companies or with companies doing business in or with Israel or authorized by, licensed by. So it's very, very broad language, but this was found.
Words over and over. Israel.
Israel. It seems like that shouldn't be mentioned so much in any type of domestic policy, especially one that determines how taxpayer dollars are spent
Emergency.
for American taxpayers. So this was found there by Axios, and by the way, all states, according to them, have to, at least in this paper, also commit to being circumcised by Gilbert Gottfried's goat.
Air support confirmed. Pilots
So-
ready to deploy.
Then there was a whole bunch of outrage, rightfully so. What? And I agree, my position is Israel should have nothing to do with how we spend our disaster relief funds. Nothing whatsoever. I wouldn't deny disaster relief funds from someone who just happens to vote Democrat. Now, if you're talking about a sanctuary city that is harboring criminals and creating a hellscape for their citizens, that's different. This is a real problem. And can you guys, if you are a diehard supporter of Israel, let's say, and I think most people here would be considered Jewish shields along with being Nazis, depending on the day.
Weird, yeah.
You support Israel in their war against Hamas. Do you also, don't you think it's pretty reasonable to also think that this is morally reprehensible? Comment below. I think that's a pretty sensible position, and I think most people would agree with that. So the outrage took place, and the DHS responded, denying the accusation, and I'll just to sort of just to tip you off, lying. So they said there is no FEMA requirement tied to Israel in any current NOFO. DHS will enforce all anti-discrimination laws and policies, including as it relates to the BDS movement, which is expressly grounded in anti-Semitism. But here's the problem.
Yo, sniping on controller is different, dude.
You would think they're telling the truth because the current document that's available does not have that language in there regarding Israel. And so that's one of those things where sometimes these stories circulate and we go, oh, okay, all right, some conspiracy theorists are circulating something that's false. But the reason it's not there is because the DHS removed it after the outrage. They removed it and then lied to you and said, oh, that's not there. Yeah, but it was. It's not there now. Yeah, but people were mad because it was. Well, it's not there anymore. But it was.
We took it off an hour ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. This is really bad and certainly doesn't seem like swamp drain. Recording who is here in the lineup actually shows the old language, but it's literally on the website.
Yes.
People pointed out it was literally on their website, to which the ghost of Gilbert Gottfried responded, that was pretty much, thank you, Gilbert. So why, I guess the question is, why would they have to get to India here and say, why would they do this? Why would this be shoehorned in there? And how does this have anything to do with putting on an operation? Can anyone come up with any, in other words, when people say these people are bought and paid for, they're controlled, okay, what's the counter argument against that? And I don't know that there is one for at least people in charge of messaging in this administration.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, this was a mistake, and I don't look. There's an argument on the state, right? We have this with Texas. They did something with one of the cities that wanted to boycott specifically Israel, and we went into the details of that, that's on a state level. It's a little bit different thing. You can maybe agree or disagree. I still disagree, but nonetheless, that's a different thing. The federal government now, if you're just basically saying like, hey, we just don't want to do business with them because we don't support the war in Gaza, you may not be supported by other people who have different opinions, but you're not actively doing something to harm Americans. Right. Denying them federal assistance in the aftermath of a tragic flood, earthquake, hurricane, whatever it may be, is actively hurting American citizens for their opinion.
Yeah, I'd say it's
that has no place in this country ever. And to specifically list Israel is moronic. You should just, if you're going to do it, I don't think you should do it. If you're going to do it, though, just say any country in good standing with the United States of America to make sure the optics are at least a little bit better, even though it's still such.
I still wouldn't agree with it.
So,
no, there's different things you can do.
Oh, well, you can take out that hut up there?
You don't hold back FEMA funds.
No.
You don't hold back emergency.
Which hut?
No, no.
That's people's
the one that
lives.
everyone sits at over there.
You said that people have fought wars over
By sea?
livelihoods.
Well, here's something else too. Is this also makes it really hard? Like for example, when kids are vandalizing, school grounds and blocking students at Columbia and harassing Jews, and we say, yeah, those people absolutely should be kicked off campus, and if they're here on a visa, they should be deported because they are
So I feel like
disrupting
when we have sea,
American
it's always
lives and they
up
are
there.
committing crimes. Then you had people who said, yeah, well, that's just because they're Jewish. This is just a Jewish conspiracy. This gives ammo to those people. I still think you shouldn't be able to vandalize public or private property on behalf of Hamas, a terrorist organization. That being said, you can hate Jews for all I care, and if you are in a hurricane zone, it should be taken into account. Zero.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like there are people in this administration who really don't know what it is that you voted for, who are so completely out of touch. And they can't make many more missteps like this.
No.
Because it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them a lot.
It's right on the heels of the whole widow involvement that we talked about yesterday. It's just like one step after another, guys. It's like, listen, I'm trying to find the common sense kind of place to interpret these things reasonably. You're making it very difficult now. Yeah. Very, very difficult. Stop with the Israel stuff. Like Israel is some special case that we have to always defend or base every decision on. I don't care if it's the most backwoods, redneck, racist a-holes that you can find on a college campus at the University of Alabama.
The tanks are amazing.
Can't go to class. They're getting kicked off too. It's the same thing. Yeah, of course they are. Not that Israel is special, so stop acting like Israel is special. Otherwise, we're going to think maybe AIPAC is making some inroads. Maybe some of these conspiracy theories over here about Mossad and Epstein and all this other stuff, maybe that rings a little bit more true now. You're creating all of those things that you say are really bad and corrosive for our society. You're creating anti-Semites. It's the same thing the left did with racism. Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I think there is an equivalency here. Representative Ramirez, I'm Guatemala first, gone. If you're a representative here and you say, well, Israel first and foremost, gone. Yes, gone. Gone. That's it. Okay?
It's not your welcome, Matt.
No.
It's the greatest country on earth.
That's it.
It's not your welcome, Matt. It's not your place to use.
It's the greatest country on earth, and if you are so blessed to be an ally who we treat well benevolently, we'll look out for you. After Americans are taken care of first, and that includes Israel. I don't know why this is hard for people in this administration, and I will say that I do think that they have conflicting interests. I do think, and the Mossad thing with Epstein is not necessarily even a conspiracy. Now, it doesn't mean only Mossad. If I say, of course, all governments engage in espionage. You guys, the French are some of the worst historically, and still up to this day. Yes, smelly, and I mean, for credit, I don't know why they don't use running water. Even the Romans had aqueducts, French, but
they're not great spies. Who's the spy in here? I don't know. The spy, maybe it is the other guy.
Yes. Don't look at me. Oh, we're kind of looking at you. Oh, all right. Well, here's one we can all agree on.
It's going to piss us off even more.
India.
Woo! Yo, get the fuck off.
We'll get a lot of views in India when I talk about Modi or someone who's done something relatively well there because they sort of have been presenting as an ally. Well, it turns out that was
Revive me.
fraudulent. And on a personal level, as far as immigrant groups, Indian Americans are among
Our
my
team has
least
no
favorite.
fucking spatial
Just as far
awareness,
as the
man.
culture, as far as assimilation, as far as the leering, as far as full-grown men holding hands, I think it's weird, and it's just not really my jam. But if you
About
come here
that,
in
guys,
America first, okay, I understand that. However, India has been playing both sides on this one. So you've probably heard this quite a bit, and you hear it increasingly from people in tech, which is kind of worrisome. But India is, despite the fact that half their civilization lives in actual food, they're the future. Yeah. They're our great ally, and they're certainly our next greatest, most significant ally. You've heard.
And I really believe that the future of the 21st century is going to be determined by the strength of the United States-India partnership.
Pleased to report that with today's announcement, the friendship between the United States and India is the strongest I believe it's ever been. I think our relationship is the best it's ever been between two leaders of the two countries.
Oh my.
It'll make both countries.
Dude, I just love putting down suppression fire, man. Like, it's fucking amazing.
But he does not think America only or America exclusively. He's going to take care of his allies. He's going to make sure
One thing I hate about teammates is they'll prioritize reviving a person over killing the person that just killed me. Or restoring their teammates. So it's like they could just get a double kill.
I told you that all of that was based on a lie. And India, as a nation, as a government, and by the way, as a people, by and large, has been dishonest. They've been dishonest economically. They've betrayed us by engaging in trade and business with our enemies, and they're doing so while telling us that no, we are friends, we are your best friend, and none of it is true. This brings us to this week's Eye on India. All right, so let me give you the what references available. So last week, Trump announced he would hit India with a 25% tariff. Okay? Now, let me give you the why, and a follow-up. Monday, President Trump announced even tougher measures, potentially greater tariffs. And he explained, he said,
India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, they are then, for much of the oil purchased, selling it in the open market for big profits. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the USA.
They need to fix
Better
these
than
invisible
India,
textures
some
on
people say.
rocks
Not
and
some, I mean everyone.
crates and stuff.
Thank you for your attention to this matter, President
Some bullets are being blocked.
And it's true. By the way, 2 people die by train every hour in India. I just think it's an interesting fact, and people say all cultures are the same. Yes, trains kill 2 people in India each hour. Think about that. Animals avoid giant, loud, screaming metal objects. It's on a track. You have to go to it.
Yeah, it's on. It can't go anywhere else. It can't.
Yeah, derailments. And I'm not saying it's the only thing wrong with India. It's just a big one. It's just one. It's like, but 2025 there too. How are these people getting killed by? And it's just because it's an entirely different culture. It's true they've been engaging in trade with our enemies while trying to take advantage of Americans. While trying to take advantage not only of American themselves, but American businesses, and I'm talking about the scam deals that happen there. I don't know how almost all of the telemarketing scams that rob old people of their Social Security checks comes from one country, which would seem like it's not a very empathetic people, which would seem like maybe there's some kind of a moral vacuum in India. Seems like Hinduism isn't filling that. Also, American businesses are being exploited, and our government is being exploited. At the same time, they're doing lots of a loophole for China to avoid tariffs and buying Russian oil. Basically, India is taking advantage of the United States gleefully, and President Trump's the only one doing anything about it. It's fine because he lived. He was not one of the 2 people per hour. By the way, there's a study that shows in some regions 50% of the train deaths are from selfie video.
So if 2 people die by train every hour, that guy not one of them, how many people are injured by train?
Exactly. And how many of them gang rape water monitor lizards?
At least 4.
All cultures are the same. If an American wanted to gang rape a water monitor lizard, I'm just using this as an example.
So do you unlock
to show
guns
the
just
culture
from your
difference.
level, or you
If
have
an
to use each
American
class?
wanted to gang rape
I haven't
a
even
water monitor
paid attention to
I think it's just by level, honestly.
There would be multiple steps that, frankly, would probably act as a barrier to entry. First off, you'd have to find a group large enough of other people who, too, wanted to gang rape a water monitor lizard.
What's that group chat look like?
Yeah, it must be pretty tough. You don't want that signal leaked. And then they would have to, of course, if they assume you find a posse of water monitor lizard rape enthusiasts large enough, you would then have to find a water monitor lizard. And you would then have to make sure that you could get this water monitor lizard isolated, because any witness in the United States would, of course, say, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. They didn't even have to do that in India. They pretty much did it in plain view. 8 people said, do you want to rape the lizard? And 7 other people said, yeah. And they just did it. They just went to town in front of people like, that's right, look, we're going back into it. It's just not the same kind of a culture. It's something that when anyone says they eat, pray, love, and India is a very spiritual place, you know that that person has lived an asshole's life, because it is devoid of any spiritual, moral ethics whatsoever. And you know what? Let's be honest. A lot of their food is overrated crap. Some of it's good, some of it's good, some of it's overrated crap, as seen by our latest Harvest Right taste test. Today's test, meal A will be meal B.
Keep the momentum. Enemy lead is falling.
There to your right. Wow, that is really good.
Yeah, I get help.
Looks like Gerald. First harvest. Harvest right. Freeze dry your favorite meals and snacks so you are always
Shit.
prepared. It's affordable. It's fun. And most important,
Oh,
it
fuck,
gives you
fuck,
peace of
fuck,
mind.
fuck, fuck, fuck,
Go to harvestright.com/Crowder. That's harvestright.com/CROW. Harvestright.com/Crowder.
Dude, hit markers are a fucking joke, man.
Go get.
Just quick scope this guy in the
Go
chest.
Harvestright.com/Crowder, and I will tell you, it really is useful. I haven't done the
Dude, ever
meal
since
grilling
Bad
yet,
Company
but the
2,
freeze-drying
all the
fruit
snipers have been
and
so
candy,
fucking good.
that in and of itself is delicious. Yes, they can. I'm not going to this age. You're kebab.
I did, actually.
Yeah, but you look good as a kebab. It's a good look.
There's going to be a surge of Indian orders.
You should make it.
Right machines like this.
Gerald Mark is good kebab. Now,
Good blood.
let me go through this economically.
There's like a main battle tank all the way down the road.
Government, as far as business,
Do you know if you could like C4 it? Or is it already destroyed? They moved back.
You are screwed on this raw deal by India playing like they are now. So, some key facts for you. Key fact number 1. It's true. India is buying a massive amount of Russian oil. Let's personalize this. Your best friend, you find out, is supporting your worst enemy. Your best friend is buying meals and, I don't know, making a down payment on the
Fuck is
house
oh my goddamn.
of the
This
guy
dude.
who your wife cheated on you. Right? Like, you're not a friend. Why? Because you're buying huge amounts of oil from someone who is not an ally. And the left should be on board with this because they hate Russia more than anything. So to give you an idea, 0.2% in pre-invasion, India, of crude imports came from Russia. Now that's 40 to 50%.
Look at that freaking graph.
Of India's crude imports are coming from Russia. That's $50 billion in new annual income for Russia. And by the way, even some of that comes through some U.S. sanctions. They've already been sanctioned countries. Because it's not like this isn't on our radar, to be clear. They know what they're doing. They could be engaging in trade honestly with the United States. They're not. They're supporting an enemy. And for Donald Trump, and this is the thing, somebody believes in peace through strength, but he wants to pull economic leverage before we have to send troops into Russia. That becomes really hard to do if you're getting undercut by your supposed greatest ally. Think about it. In other words, you can't squeeze Russia. If India decides, oh no, we'll pick up the slack to the tune of 50% of our crude imports. And by the way, you can't trust those Russians anymore.
I just hit the guy wrong the tank.
Shit, need some tree, dude.
Bro, how was that another one-shot kill?
Oh, it's over. It's a guy in my fucking aim down sight, dude. What the hell? Oh, we lost again. Oh, I did what I could, but people are fucking retarded, so.
I couldn't believe how much mucus came out of my lungs the first time I tried this. It felt like I could finally breathe again.
We're being told to buy
Did we? I don't think we had a single helicopter the entire game flying around.
$300 a day with
Today in history. On August 6, 1945, with the payload secure, finally, American forces braced themselves for a day that will be remembered throughout history, in taking the most drastic measures possible that would forever alter the course of history in the direction of this war. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were designated as the first two targets for the atomic bomb. Caught off guard with the walls closing in, the Japanese emperor was notoriously quoted as responding, "Hell no!"
Is that a direct quote?
Direct. Yes. They just found the recordings.
I think it's great he said it in English.
Just for the American audience.
I'm sure he did say
everyone.
Are we gonna have a moment of silence?
Not so much.
Guys, that's one of those things like at 4:45 in the morning where I had to pull over. I was laughing last.
Yeah.
You guys let me know if that's just me. That's.
It was 80 years ago. Come on.
That's my humor encapsulated. All right. Here's another.
Japanese guys are pretty cool, though. We did a joint training thing with them with some shooting at the range, some sniper rifles and stuff. It was really cool. We bonded at lunch over throwing hot dog weenies at each other.
That's right. You told me. They do all kinds of
Didn't
weird
start
stuff.
yet, man.
It's a big thing there.
Is it really?
They take hot dogs and they do like this is like
They get it.
puffer fish hot dog or whatever the hell they do.
They get it over there.
Yeah, they get it.
Get it?
They do.
Hot dog origami?
I have. They get after it. The Japanese. Hey, look. Japan should be for the Japanese. You guys preserve your culture. We appreciate it. And you know what? You've gotten a lot of things right. Eventually, hopefully, it becomes a Christian nation and you'll improve the blind spots. All right. Hey, question for you. And I want to be clear about something. I challenge you to find us ever just going, this person's fat. That's not what this is about. The obesity epidemic in children is a very new thing as far as being this severe. Okay? And so Sometimes when you're facing a problem, especially one that not only is currently a burden on
Yeah,
our
imagine
health,
never
not
seen
only do we have the
Super
first
OP.
generation expected to live
You get a
shorter
grenade,
lifespan than the
you get a
previous
bunch of
generation,
ammo.
which really defies all of human history. As far as what we
They're
have
pretty good.
You have to ask yourself, okay, why are people, when they have more access
if I can use an
to
AR
food, more access to information, the
as a
ability
fucking
to access
engineer,
gyms
what's
are
the
more
point of
affordable than
applying
ever,
so?
home gyms are more affordable than ever. Why
not
are we
the-
living
it's not the
shorter?
nuke
Why are
that
we
does
more
damage.
unhealthy? And why, with the information superhighway, are we dumber? Now, I can't answer the second one, public education. As far as the first one, I have a hunch. Maybe it's because this is the first time in human history where we have been telling everyone, hey, you're healthy at any size. It is all the same. The most important thing is that you feel good about your poor health. Hold on, pause. I can't see this, so...
Okay, yeah, I can read it.
So for those listening, Josh, you can, because the screen's too small for me. All right, Josh, you can read this, and let's play.
Yes, I genuinely love myself. But aren't you unhealthy? Don't you want to be skinny?
Ellipses, I see that.
Just because I'm plus size doesn't mean I'm not healthy.
Yes, it does.
Just get healthy and eat healthy and work out.
You'll love yourself.
I don't need to lose weight to genuinely love myself. But you don't look healthy. You are heavily obese.
And heavy.
Just because I'm heavy doesn't make me unhealthy. What do you not understand?
All of it?
Apparently biology.
I don't understand it, and you know, that would be the response of honest doctors. Well, just because I'm heavy doesn't mean I'm unhealthy, and just because I'm heavier, that I'm morbidly obese, doesn't mean that I'll have health problems. The doctor would go, I don't understand what you're saying. You want me to just write on the prescription pad, whatever, and give it to you and go on your merry way? What do you want me to do here?
Dude, just reading that really made me want to lose weight.
It
felt like it was me saying it. I was like, just because I'm heavy doesn't mean I'm unhealthy.
And again, it's not, she's overweight. No, it's not just that.
No.
She's telling all of you and your kids. And by the way, these are the kinds of people who have public education. All sizes are healthy. Let's do away with the presidential fitness test. Let's do away with standards in the military. Let's just tell everyone the most important thing is to feel good. And by the way, they don't feel good because there's weight in their heart. At one point, their heart's just going to go. That's what's gonna happen. So she said this in the video, or was it Catherine? She said, I don't need to lose weight. I genuinely love myself. Oh, logical fallacy alert. It's the false dichotomy. Let's be clear, let's read this up. Two choices are presented when more might exist, and the claim is made that one is false and one is true, or one is acceptable and the other is not. No one is saying that you have to hate yourself if you are overweight. You don't have to choose between loving yourself or accepting yourself to whatever degree and becoming healthy. I don't know if you know this, but the healthiest people in the world, the most successful people in the world, can always find room for self-improvement. That used to be our culture here. That was often referred to as American exceptionalism. Now you have a lot of room, not much room, but you could improve. Depending on the size of the room. You could improve. No one's saying you have to hate yourself, but you should probably be less than satisfied with the health outcomes. And you certainly should be less than satisfied with those health outcomes for our children. Shouldn't we care about our kids enough to teach them how to live a longer and healthier life? If your child was sick, if your child had the flu, would you not help them? Would you not treat them? Would you not give them medicine? Would you not get them rest? Would you not bring them chicken soup or whatever it is? But if your child is morbidly obese, the most important thing, if your child had, I don't know, cancer, progeria, would you say, well, it doesn't matter about, the most important thing is just to love yourself. Well, that's a thing. It's not the most important thing, and no one's saying they have to hate themselves.
Right.
This woman goes by the Catherine Renee on Instagram and has made a whole career off of modeling plus-size hammocks. Here she is getting ready for summer. It's like the ocean. Or the sky.
Is your tank full health? Because I can't see the health right now.
Yeah, that's full.
Like a London bus.
Horizontal stripes. Here's the other thing. Well, first off, by the way, youth obesity has gone up from 2012 to 2021, 9.7% to 19.3%. If we throw around the term epidemic, that's an actual epidemic.
Yeah, F you parents.
Yeah, that's an actual epidemic, to be clear. Also, 13 different kinds of cancers are directly linked to obesity. We're seeing a rise, for example, in colon cancer in young people, even though tobacco use, alcohol use has gone down. In other words, that's not enough to counterbalance the rampant obesity. It's a serious problem, but something else. Do you remember, like, when people were really good, people would just didn't say, I'm hot, I'm sexy.
Yeah.
Even good-looking people, it was assumed. It was poor form to go, aren't I hot, aren't I sexy? But these people now have commandeered it to, aren't I, and it's a trick question. Aren't I hot, aren't I sexy?
No.
Don't answer honestly.
Yeah, it's like that guy who introduced himself like, hey, I'm Josh, I'm cool.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you're probably not.
Definitely not cool.
Yeah, you're probably not. You're no James Dean.
Yeah, you're not saying.
Speaking of uncool, she got her husband in on the app, and he seems to like it.
My husband wants to show you his outfit. He thinks you better.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to do this.
Am
I done now?
Good job, baby.
And by the way, after that, she went on to having sleep apnea while awake. This is why we need to bring back patriarchy. This is what I mean. That husband should be like, hey, you're looking a little, you can't, not just fit into your wedding dress, you can't fit into a dress. It's a problem that we need to dress you in tarps. He should be like, yeah, what are you saying? Yeah, I'm saying that you're much bigger than when we met, and it's unhealthy, and if we're going to raise kids, I don't want them to look like you.
Yes.
You need leadership. Yeah, instead of enabling it.
Yes, was that a humiliation ritual for him or something like that? Like, what is that lady, like 5'5" and that heavy?
I don't know.
I actually really don't know what the fuck the spotter
Get like a kind of a
is.
perspective on the shower.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I really don't know what it is.
Let me ask you, here's, I could get into some stats. Let me just give you one point and you'll notice if it's true. You ever see the in memoriam for Apple?
I think it's L1, but not holding.
Celebrating someone who's really old.
So you have to tap it if you hold it. It brings up a menu.
Pass, everyone warns
I think. And
Name
I
me
think if you're
one
pointing
who was
at something, it will
obese
ping that
elder
thing.
celebrity. One. Who
Or
was a
it's either a
morbidly
free
obese
ping if you're looking at something.
elder
It's
who
a,
lived into old age. One.
it's a
Your body's trying to tell you something. You're dying. Let's call this what it is. You are dying, and you're advocating that other people make the same decisions that will lead them to an early death.
Even advocating is the bad part.
That's the problem. Of course.
I'm not going to judge, people, lifestyle, whatever. But the fact is that she is living this lifestyle and encouraging other people to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, you can love yourself. Yeah, you can love yourself. You can also love yourself enough to.
Fuck, I was AFK on my tank.
For your husband or for your kids.
Yeah.
Because I would go through that, but she has this page where she has all these different outfits, and it's all at any size. It's all these different posts saying, oh, this is what you can wear. This is how you can look great. I recommend this for you. So she's built a lifestyle and a brand now that's reliant on her being that happy.
Right. Yeah.
So now if she wants to pay her mortgage, if she wants to keep her lifestyle up, she has to continue this.
Yeah.
For how long, I don't know. And
well, not that long.
And there's we see it a lot, and I'm going to counter that.
Well, yeah, I will tell you this. Look, especially after the shirt, I gained 25, 30 pounds. I couldn't move, and my joints hurt more. My blood pressure went up. I didn't
A lot of it
feel
was
good.
blood in your lungs, though.
That's
so
true. That's true. It was 4.5 liters. But the point remains, you don't feel good. Just how about this? Try. And also, if someone's advocating a lifestyle, just to be clear, that's easy, that anyone can do, and that contrast with someone advocating for something that maybe requires some effort on your part, it's the general rule. Usually the one advocating some kind of effort or discomfort, but promising reward in the long term, is correct. Just so you guys know, as a general
Dude, I
sort
love how
of
I'm
rule to
around
use,
this
wait,
area
hold on
for
a
like
second.
3 minutes
Who's
and
the one
then
advocating instant
randomly
gratification and
people behind me.
acceptance regardless of outcome? Okay, who's the one saying that I can actually take ownership of this and make decisions, be accountable, and actually improve my life in the long term? Who's advocating delayed gratification? I'm going to go with that one. And
that's what I'm saying.
Well,
yeah, you guys follow on Instagram. I'm going to document it. Sorry if some shirtless pictures. But yeah.
Don't be sorry.
I stepped on the scale last week, and I
well,
yeah, too much.
I appreciate it.
I was like, yeah, so I've been running the last week and a half.
We're gonna shrink in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna counter that kind of like maintain your healthy. I've never loved myself.
Well, I just feel that when you lose weight, you tend to don't love yourself. tires. What a screwy tattooed on my forehead. Unfortunately, her and her husband did make a day trip to the beach, and she jumped off the pier.
Not again.
Hey, Josh, where can people follow you to follow?
Josh_Firestein on Instagram.
Are you going to be using Jacked Up Fitness to do some?
Yeah, I'll be working out in the gym. I'll post some videos here and there, and what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And
It doesn't need to be complicated either, guys. What I'm at, look, I guarantee you take that person and just count the calories in versus calories out. There's your answer. I guarantee you. There might be some other contributing factors. Without fail, that is what is going on. Just eat a little bit less, you know what's reasonably healthy, and move a little bit more. That's really, just do that. Try and do some strength training twice a week. I'm not trying to get on myself. Everyone should be doing it, especially if you understand the burden on our healthcare system, especially if you talk about what kind of a world we want to preserve for our kids. We want to advocate for every eco policy and Green New Deal. How about advocating that they don't kill themselves for a lifetime of horrible decisions? It's not a small thing. The culture that is permissive to unhealthy, hedonistic, gluttonous decisions in the name of tolerance, that's a culture that is doomed to crumble, that is doomed to fail. It's a symptom of a greater problem. Speaking of problem, Somalia. I know, that place, that silly, awful place.
Why are we talking about that?
Well, they're now getting Starlink.
Oh boy.
Seriously?
Toolman, run it.
Objective Charlie is under hostile attack. Objective Bravo is being secured.
He lived, it's okay.
There's no evidence of that.
So Elon Musk announced the service on X. Starlink is not available in Somalia.
5 people cheer.
Yes. And magically, in the last 24 hours, pirate attacks have been down by 135%. And I wonder what could be occupying your time. Oh, that makes sense. It's just,
Come on.
every chance we get, Ilhan Omar married her brother.
I think the banging part is more.
Hey, consummating.
Consummating.
Oh, sorry.
Consummating.
Well, language.
It's a covenant.
Yeah.
It's a covenant, good sir, with slippers. Now, to give you an idea, Starlink is going to cost $390 for the equipment and a $70 monthly fee in Somalia. Well, that's kind of a problem because the GDP per capita is $76. Couldn't even find the income statistics.
You could eat or not eat, I think, at that level.
Although half of Somalia, at least half of the people there, seem to be connected to the internet. 15% of them estimated to be on social media. Well, I should clarify. Half of them on social media are, in fact, fitness influencers. And that's the, yeah. It's
Look how happy she is. She looks like she loves herself.
At any weight, Josh. At any weight.
And it got to Somalia before South Africa. Think about that for a second. Elon Musk said that South Africa wouldn't allow Starlink because it's not a black-owned business. He says there's a policy there. But I've got to imagine that Somalia is not super amenable to policies that favor the Western world. I can't imagine they're less discriminatory.
Yeah, I don't think they like us all that much right now.
I don't think they like us a whole lot either.
Well, they're too busy fighting each other. But hey, Starlink.
Yeah, but the internet is a powerful tool.
Brings us all together.
We can expect more scam calls. India, you're going to get a run for your money.
Look at that different accent.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even know how to identify. I'm just like, is this the guy from Captain Phillips? Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Somalian? I don't know. It just sounds like generically not American.
Somalian?
I don't know.
Gotta be right.
That guy got screwed. He got his first role got nominated for an Oscar, and then he was expecting a career in rom-coms. Didn't pan out.
Isn't he running for mayor?
He got
Minneapolis?
typecast.
Yeah, of course. Look, I'm so much more than a pirate. I could do action. I could be like John King. John King. All right. WNBA. I know. Don't say it. There's the story has been going around, but it's been getting worse. And everything's a gate now. And I don't like that everything is a gate, because Watergate wasn't really even a gate. When you know what Watergate was, it really wasn't. It's child's play compared to that. But I understand. I'm using the nomenclature that you understand. So WNBA right now is experiencing dildo gate. The green dildo, it's like their Detroit Red Wings octopus.
Hold up, stoppage for another dildo.
Watch this. So it's been going on quite a bit, and just in case you haven't been taking women's sports seriously.
I haven't.
Last Friday, Sophie Cunningham, this episode, stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us. And then late last night, after another one happened, she actually responded to her own expose saying this did not age well. And here's the video as to why.
Yo, they're all down the street, dude.
Bad choice of wording. No one's to pick it up.
Someone coming out with a hazmat, and it's always, but just so you know, it's a trend. It's always lime green.
I'm pulling back.
The tank is
Pull back.
on the hallway.
I know. Last time we got a lot of feedback. That's a mega shock. It's childish and apologize. So a different angle of this incident was released, which now we actually seem to be the real.
Yo, what?
We're gonna get to DC crime. It's a slow news day.
Dude, there's like 50 engineers on me, bro. I can't even see what the hell I'm doing right now. Holy.
Here you go. All right. So here's some stats if you probably want that in this segment. WNBA viewership is 794,000 per game, which is up 21% from last year. And that's still significantly better than CNN primetime, just to give you an idea. 538,000. It's still a fraction of the NBA, but still better than CNN. And you know what? If the WNBA players, if they stopped making the argument, we weren't paid as much as the men, no. But if they made the argument, hey, we should be paid at least as much as Brian Stelter,
yes,
that would be a more convincing argument.
There you go. Somebody else who's failing right now. They're still losing money, but they're gonna turn around. By the way, I know what you're gonna say. It's all because of the fever. No, and you take them out, they're still beating CNN, even without Caitlin Clark.
Who's the Fever?
Indiana Fever.
Oh,
Caitlin Clark.
I love that you acted as though everyone should know that.
Yeah, don't assume
No, I said some of you will say, and those people who would say that they know who the Fever.
Yeah, there's like 2 people.
Like 7 or 8. No, I am not. I hate the WNBA.
I got a fever. The only prescription is bad basketball.
Yeah, let me see more layups, because that's exciting.
It's just...
Is that in front of the floor? Nobody would be.
Are you still buying me?
That's my question. Do you think it's a psyop to actually increase their viewership? Because I think people now, they're
Dude, the
tuning
fucking
in.
shit takes forever to
Not for the
reload,
passing,
man.
Not for the team. They're tuning in for the lime green dildo.
They are.
Is that? I don't know. I haven't followed. Gerald, you know WNBA. Is that more dildos than dunks this year?
I think it's more dildos than dunks ever. Yes.
More men have walked on the moon than women dunked in the WNBA.
I mean, there's a couple of people that can do it. It's very unimpressive right now because it like barely gets over the rim. But I haven't seen it happen. I've heard about it happen in one of the games. Maybe it has. I don't know. It's a boring sport.
Professional sports, there's only one purpose, to see who the best is among us. That's it. That's all it is. I'm sorry, women aren't.
And if people want to go to it and watch the game, if they have like a family-friendly environment other than the flying dildos for some reason, then fine.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. But I'm tired of this argument.
I don't know, even then, just go to medieval times or something. Hey, man, go to the WNBA.
Don't throw dildos. You're not going to take, guys. That's the point.
You're not going to take toddlers to the WNBA.
Guys seriously just sitting in that house?
Need
a
medic!
Probably not.
They're like, what the hell? You couldn't spring for medieval times. They give you a whole half-roasted chicken. It's good. The food's not bad at medieval times. Just don't get concussed like I did. All right.
Also, the red guy sucks.
Yeah. I got a little overzealous when I went, apparently.
Wow, I love when medics just stand around and didn't let me die.
But you know what? He was so smart. So here's the thing. We're talking about, look, and this is, we do have the luxury because there's been a lot of winning.
Lost again,
There's been
dude.
a lot of winning. And there have been some missteps. But now you have the opportunity to sit back and say, okay, what kind of a country do we want to be for the next decade, the next half a century, the next century? Right? Okay, what brought us here? Why are we
Like
seeing
either we don't have medics or the medics we have don't revive.
There's different tones in the country. There's a shift. So let's take inventory. All right, what do we want to do? What should we set as the baseline? The good rule of thumb is do the opposite of what the left has done when they are in power. Don't ask yourself, what does the left do? What do Democrats do on the national stage? Ask yourself, what would they do with unfettered power? Now, you can look to Canada and see that. You can look to certain parts of Europe. Or you can look to these sort of petri dishes, these microcosms, these cities that have been run by progressive leftists for a very, very long time. And you get a good idea. So that's going to bring us here to D.C. Let me just set this up for you because Donald Trump is talking about federalizing the security issues there in D.C. D.C., why do we find ourselves here? Does this apply to the country? Soft on crime policies, okay? You see this.
Thanks for wasting your time, man. Shut the fuck up, faggot.
Detroit, places like St. Louis, and you see the results as far as skyrocketing crime. Not in a vacuum compared to the rest of the country. It's much worse in these cities as a direct result of their policies. It's time
Fucking
for
faggots can't even revive.
And you know, this does matter, and I get it, DC is complicated. We'll sort of get into why we can federalize it, because I don't even know what you consider it the United States. It's one of those type of things.
It's like
But,
wasting the tank, but I'm fucking
it's been
killing
getting
all
bad
these
for a
people.
long
I'm
period
fucking
of time.
suppressing them.
Look, it's where
Fucking idiots
capital
can't
is.
do anything.
It's where presidents live.
Yeah.
We should be putting our best foot forward. And I don't think it's out of line for someone like the President of the United States to look out his window and say, you know what, we should probably clean this place up. Especially when you understand this is the direct result of proactive policy from the left. So this is now making the rounds everywhere. Someone was brutally beaten in D.C. Actually, someone trying to be a hero stepped in.
There's only one
in the middle
sniper
of
in the
a
beta,
carjacking,
bro. What
and
the
then was
fuck?
gang beaten. Take a guess on the suspects. And the person who ended up being gang beaten, now it's emerged.
It was like the least fun sniper
infamous
to use in
Big Balls. Remember him?
Battlefield 4 as well.
Just in confirming President Trump's claim that a former Doge employee was attacked on the streets of D.C. last night, multiple sources telling Fox News that Edward Kornstein was violently beaten in D.C. Elon Musk says Kornstein, also known by a colorful nickname, was, quote, beaten to the point of concussion while trying to save a woman from a D.C. assault.
First off, hats off to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
And the fact that they just addressed this like, oh, you know, this happened and he was beaten. Okay, who are the suspects? Why no information on that? Take a guess. Comment below. When you don't get any information on the suspects, whether it's a shooter, whether it's a gang beating, do you make an assumption?
Russian nationals.
Yeah, it's probably those
Ruskies.
Mennonites. Time magazine, this is how they described that incident. They said, the large testicles nicknamed 19-year-old who reportedly used to provide, quote, tech support to a cybercrime ring became a special employee of the Social Security Administration in May. How about, you guys are outraged over everything. You're outraged over pronouns. You're outraged over border security. You're outraged over people exercising their freedom of speech. How about outrage over someone being gang beaten in our nation's capital because of the policies from the people who you support as representatives? How about that? How about outrage over that? Not Doge. Also, in a twist, turns out the carjacking
Who's in the tank with me, you?
also had big balls, as seen by the recently released footage. You should have been on a watch list or something.
I guess we know who it was. I like how they thought Big Balls was.
I did. I self-censored.
They censored themselves. They didn't want to say big balls, so they said large testicle.
Yeah.
Which is worse. That's.
Yeah. Sounds like a medical condition.
Yeah, I'm thinking about balls.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, we all often do.
Airspace is clear. Pilots
So
are free to
President Trump responded, and of course what the left does is this is the I hate to use it, but the gaslighting, right? They enact policy that lead to rampant crime that harm citizens, you, the American worker, the American taxpayer. And then when the person who you elected to office says, we need to do something about this, they go, oh, fascist, no, this person has a mandate of the masses, and a big part of that is immigration. But tied into that, crime. Americans are tired of having to deal with
Wait, they made it F-16 versus F-16.
It should be done. It's one of the few legitimate jobs of the federal government, which is why President Trump has said, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time to federalize this.
I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
This is an important thing that many of you may have missed. During the Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown years, do you guys remember on CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNBC, MSNBC, when they controlled the left of all legacy media? They said that thug was a dog whistle. If you use the term socialist, you really meant the N-word. If you said thug, you really meant the N-word. To the point where on YouTube they would censor some videos if you used the term thug.
Oh, shit.
I had a video removed on YouTube during the Black Lives Matter protests, the riots, the early ones. Hands Up, Don't Shoot, for referring to them as low-life thugs.
Isn't that suspect?
Yeah. No, actually, yes. Actually, yes. I had a conversation with executives at YouTube who said, you know, for example, there's a gray area. I don't think that, showing or reflecting crime statistics should be seen as prejudice, but that's not a gray area. Those are stats. So we have a president now who just said, unabashedly, thug.
The team is so shit, I have to get 2 fucking hits on the same guy at close range.
Don't underappreciate that. He added on truth. He said, crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths, quote, and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens at the same time, knowing that they will be almost immediately released. They know it. Law in D.C. must be changed to prosecute these minors as
The guy was using his parachute and it didn't.
There's no parachute.
Yeah. He just flung to the air. Wow, that was a headshot.
I'm going to exert my powers and federalize the city. Can he do that?
There's an enemy tank. Are you engineer?
And you actually have more of a say in what happens in D.C. than most cities, because the city legislature doesn't really control it because of the sort of gray area that it is. Speaking of the big ball, before we move on there, Josh, you know what else?
Retreat.
A pair of big balls to cut grass.
Dude, I think this guy's head glitching one of those fucking crates that you can't like shoot past the fucking edge.
Dude, I love running over people.
Call the pros at American Financing today at 1-800-974-6500 or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Crowder. NMLS 182334. If you start today, you may even delay up to 2 mortgage payments.
Morgan. Yeah, dude, everyone's a fucking engineer, man.
Morgan. Big balls. Also, I will say, just a quick word of the sponsor. We're very happy with them. If you are currently finalizing a mortgage, you can still also use them as a reference point. You may even get a better deal over a friend who's actually no, wait, don't go. We'll do it here. So I've known a lot of people who have been helped. Genuinely, at least give them a shot.
Good people, I thought.
Let's go through.
So we have the president kind of characterizing what happened.
Yes.
But just so that I understand it, because it's almost lost in this story.
Need some help with this tank
was
here.
being carjacked. Big balls to the rescue.
Yep.
Right. Have all the fun you want with the jokes on that one, right? Stops the carjacking. Gets beaten up for his troubles, and the teams are off. Okay. Is the word hero being thrown around? Is the word hero saved woman from carjacking being thrown around in the media right now, or is it basically, well, he was one of those Doge kids that has a weird nickname, and so it's just some guy that got beat up?
Yeah.
Because I for one, want more people. In fact, When 10 people try to go in
Fuck, they got a main tank, dude.
I want 100 people from the neighborhood to make sure those 10 guys learn how to fly really quickly off of the hero. That's what I want. Shouldn't we be encouraging people to actually stand up and police a little bit of their own communities too? Just to a small degree. I understand there's limits. Just to a
Fucking
small
Jet's after me too, man.
They will call good evil.
evil good.
Evil good. Yeah, I think we've reached that point. I'm waiting for everyone in DC to turn into a pillar of salt. Because that guy that pride model This guy
C4 it?
risked life and limb against a gang.
Dude, how many fucking C4s does it take?
Because he's of the wrong political persuasion.
I was about to die, so I hit it
Because the
early, but
research just sent in that the
holy
carjacking
shit,
victim
dude.
was apparently him and his girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend.
I hit him with 3 and I just killed myself.
Either way, she's still a lady, right? She's a lady.
I assume. Big
Or you can just spawn in that tank. So that's where you were.
I don't know if they got off. It doesn't matter. He fought. No, he fought.
I believe they did not get the front, but they won't say hero.
Dude, they got 2 tanks up there, man.
Talking about the headline sound.
Where the fuck is the other tank that we have, huh?
No, you're exactly right.
Oh my god.
What kind of a society do you want to live in? What kind of a country do we want? Now, the left then goes, we can't have a vigilante culture. Okay, but it's also not vigilantism to fight.
I think
for
we only
what
have
is
one tank.
Yours, and to fight for the
We don't
people
have, like,
you
a
love.
main
You know what?
battle
I would
tank?
rather have a culture that errs on the side of
No, I'm
vigilantism
looking at the
culture
HQ.
that decides,
only
you know
have
what,
the tank here.
we just have to allow crime to go on unfettered in the name of justice, in the name of
How does that make sense? One
everything
side
in the
gets
name of equity. Here's
a
a
better
job that
tank.
we didn't
Yeah.
do. Equity.
It doesn't make sense.
Hey, you know what? Here's some freedom that you rightfully should have lost after committing violent crime. Why? Equity. I get it. Some people have some tough breaks. I understand that. I also don't. You guys can comment on this. I don't agree with the idea that prison and their justice system should just be focused on rehabilitation. I think the first thing that happens is punishment, and then rehabilitation, if we can. But punishment is what is most necessary as the first deterrent. You've made your decision, so let's get to how we got here. First, let's go through the why. All references are available, links in the description. In DC, right? Crime is terrible, we'll get you some stats, but why? Well, you can trace it to no cash bail in Washington, D.C. 88%
It's not a single fucking
of D.C.
medic
defendants are released. No bail being paid. No. And their justification is like, well, most of them show up to the court anyway.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
there's
some
about
don't.
6 or 7 people
And the ones who
around
don't
me that are
likely the
alive.
worst
I get
among us,
revived, I
right?
die
Because they've already
instantly.
chosen to break the law.
Why
Also,
aren't the other people dying?
I don't care. There needs to be some skin in the game. There needs to be some punishment. So 88% of DC defendants, no bail. Then you have the policy that they refuse to prosecute crime. Up to 67% of arrests in DC are not prosecuted. That is not in line with the rest of the country. That's not even possible. And of course, you've seen the guys, well, we didn't actually mean defund the police. Yeah, no, actually they did. And you can look at the reforms to the police in Washington, D.C. They limited police searches. They banned chokeholds completely. They removed officers just for basic allegations of misconduct in civil lawsuits. And what's the result? They have the lowest number of officers in D.C. in 50 years. 50 years.
I'm guessing it's not a lower population.
No, it's not proportional. So if you're a criminal in D.C., you're okay. There are fewer officers than ever before. They're afraid to do anything because I can just accuse them of patting me on
Dude,
the ass
how-
or whatever it is, and they'll be put on leave. Also, they're probably not going to prosecute my crime. And worst
Their
case
bunkers are
scenario,
fucking
I don't need to
insane,
pay
bro.
any cash, and I can just revolving door my criminal ass out of here and right back into mugging somebody else.
I have to get good at
At
the
what
health.
point do you say correlation does not equal causation? So that's the why.
There, if you want to take the
And
tank, you
this is
can.
the what. This is what that's gotten you in DC. This can be applied.
I don't know how to switch seats.
DC, to give you an idea, if it were a state,
Oh,
the
okay, so
highest
X.
homicide rate in the United
Okay, yeah,
States.
I got it. Thanks.
The highest in the country. In 2023, DC had the
See, I don't-
single highest spike of
Do we have a helicopter? I
violent
only see
crime.
one. I see one.
Yeah, we do.
And that's 3 times the percentage increase of second place, a distant second place, Memphis, which also sucks. Memphis is terrible.
I think it might be
And I know
destroyed.
people
It's
to the
just
left are trying to
respawning
say
right
the
now.
FBI, they've tried to massage these statistics, right?
Oh,
Because
but
what
we
happened
don't
because of
have one
COVID?
in here. That's what
No, actually, all
None.
crime in DC is still significantly higher than pre-COVID levels. Sorry, you can't keep using that crutch for this long.
Looks like they got. Oh, okay, that's a UAV. Wait, do they have two jets? Oh, one of them is a UAV.
Lockdown, social distancing, shutting down businesses. We basically have major cities that are becoming ghost towns. Who was responsible for that? Who would you say is more responsible for the universal increase in crime around COVID? Would you say conservatives who didn't want lockdown? Conservatives who wanted to keep the businesses open? Conservatives who didn't believe in writing checks to people who weren't working? Which one is more likely? And then, after COVID, where do you still see the increased crime? Is it in suburban areas? Is it in rural areas? Is it in cities that are more red? There's really almost no red cities, aside from maybe Oklahoma City in the country. Where do you see?
I feel like I would be 50% more efficient if I knew how to fucking spot people in this tank.
Who is responsible for this? And let me give you some clear examples too in DC. Sometimes you look at stats on a paper.
Just start tapping out one.
No, people's lives are being lost in record numbers. People are being beaten within an inch of their life. And it's entirely preventable. In most of these cases, almost entirely preventable. Miraculously so. July 1st, remember this one? 2025.
Main battle tank is here, I think.
Eric Tarkanian Yakim, I hope I'm getting that right. He was killed in DC after he was caught in crossfire.
There were two teenage boys on bicycles just to his left, and there was an SUV with as many as 4 people inside. As that SUV made the turn here onto M Street, according to police, at least 2 gunmen, masked gunmen, got out of the vehicle, and one with a rifle opened fire. Eric Tarkanian Jackson was hit once in the abdomen with what appears to be a round from a rifle.
An uninvolved person who lost his life. And so, no mayor, no police chief, no mother, father.
The fucking air support, man.
Ever once.
Fucking tank is so fast I can't even run after it.
And I want to
There's like
kind of
1,000
that was a
people over
congressional intern, right? The next one that I'm going to bring to you was a former Trump official. So when people say Donald Trump fascist, let me ask you this: if you had
Guy just crashed the jet.
10 work colleagues and friends who were murdered or mugged, and you could do something about it, would you? Is that fascist? January 9th, 2024. There's no excuse in Trump with Mike Gill shot, killed in a carjacking spree. Carjacking. Yeah, 35-year-old Alberto Vasquez Jr. was killed in that spree, by the way. February 9th, 2023, Democratic Representative Angie Craig of Minnesota assaulted in the elevator of her apartment. July 10th, 2016. Well, this one, Seth Rich, was absolutely not killed by Hillary Clinton. So I don't know why we put that in there instead. So think about this for a second. You have the personal experience, the personal connections, and you can look at the statistics. Okay. Now DC has a decision to make. And they've made it. Can we do something different? They've doubled down. So, can the federal government do anything about it? Do you want your city to be like DC? Do you want your city to be like Detroit, to be like Chicago, to be like St. Louis, to be like Memphis? If you vote for Democrats, that's exactly what you'll get because they've told you that. Yeah. Good news is you actually have a say in DC. So, we were doing some research this morning and learned the brain. A lot of this was, I didn't know a lot of this before today. The federal government already has different levels of control over DC, so the president can use his power regarding the DC police and the National Guard during emergencies. To be clear, there are things known as budget riders, and that allows Congress to basically decide to determine how DC spends its funds.
They're in the jet, dude.
Basically, it was from, I believe, Harris, right? It's on the slowest. Probably bad. But people don't really know this. They have to get their budget approved. Right? So when they want money,
nice.
Dude, like I can't slow down, dude. Like
that's what you have to go to Congress.
So dumb.
The process because
mechanics for that shit are so weird.
Pick your favorite issue, and if it comes up in DC, they'll talk about it. So there's your power right there.
Yeah, well, here's the, in your city, it's usually the local city council, right? Your state determines it. Since this is your capital, are you an American? This is your capital. Nationally, you have a say. How do you want to present our capital to the world? Good news is you can do something about it, and your representatives can, if they're not cowards. Congress can overturn laws. So in 2023, the Senate overturned some new portions of the D.C. Criminal Code. So this can be done. The 1973 Home Rule Act, it actually established some levels of self-governance for Washington, D.C. So that means that to fully federalize the city, Congress has to repeal it. But they can. Yes. They can. It can't just be undone by a city council. This is the capital of the nation, your nation, and it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think they should have any self-governance control. There is, I mean, when you look at the crime stats, when you look at just look at the city itself, you start to wonder.
I guess
like,
we do have
okay,
two
what are we
tanks.
really doing here? Tucker Carlson made this point, and I don't agree with a lot of what he's
Yeah.
saying right now, but
Think
he's
two tanks
talking
right
about
now, so.
other world capitals, and he's talking about Moscow specifically.
But I think it's
And I
the
get it,
same.
It's, like a
It's the
city,
same.
Like, I understand it's not all real
option.
It's just like Gavin Newsom, whenever they had the Asian community coming into that conference, where they completely cleaned up the entire city and got rid of all the
Dude,
homeless
like,
people. I
what
understand
is
it's
that
not like
rock?
that, except
He's
on
literally
holidays
just
in
behind a
Moscow.
rock. I can't
But his
fucking.
point's not wrong in that our city doesn't look like the.
It's like a massive
capital
invisible
city
shield.
of the greatest nation on earth. It doesn't fit right now, and we've tried it their way long enough.
Because
we have to change it.
Our capital city does not represent the makeup of this country. No. It doesn't. It represents leftist elites in power. It is the swamp. And this is what happens when the swamp determines criminal code. This is what happens when the swamp has that kind of control. And let me ask you, well, it's how you look at the world. And by the way, the best way to stay in touch, follow me on Rumble, download the Rumble app, follow me there. Don't be beholden to some algorithm. This would never be allowed on YouTube. I had videos removed on YouTube for citing crime statistics, and they said some other conservatives don't. I said, well, I do. So that's what these streams are supposed to Let me paint for you a scenario. And this is real because I've had this conversation with individuals.
If somebody's able to stand on the jet and repair it while it's flying.
That'd be insane.
Okay? The man in question has a gun. Let's say there's 5.
Dude, like.
There's 5, so 10. They come up. They don't hurt him yet, but they say they're gonna beat him.
I'm
up, give me
on
a card, give
the
me your
rock
money,
I'm
and
on.
blam,
Fucking
blam,
makes me
blam,
jump
and
up and
shoot
down,
them.
so I can't even aim straight. And this guy's just able to sit there for 5 hours.
Do you view that man as committing a sin? Or do you view that man as committing an act of heroism? That's the difference. That's the difference in worldview. When people say, I'm not left or right, man, I'm not Republican, ask yourself that. Because if you ask a room full of Democrats, they will not say hero. They'll say, oh, it's a tragedy. I don't believe it. I don't believe that it's a tragedy. I believe that if you put someone in a situation where they could even potentially die, be maimed, or, you know what, be hurt in a way that they don't want, you forfeit your right to live.
Yeah, a lot of people are just going to say, oh man, it's a car. No, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to make sure the rest of the community knows this is not acceptable behavior.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you want a culture where you tiptoe around and acquiesce to criminals?
Enemies are attacking
Let me have in
objective
D.C.
Bravo.
And not just D.C., by the way. You can look at other leftist strongholds like Memphis, St. Louis, Baltimore, Birmingham, Albuquerque, Detroit, that they're running out of people to kill. Do you want that kind of a city? Or do you want a country where criminals are afraid? They're afraid they might get shot. They're not afraid of the cops. They're afraid of you, packing heat. And I mean that. That's not a, have that conversation. Have that conversation with your friends who are liberal.
This
Paint
guy
that
is
scenario.
so lucky with that fucking.
Man is
those
getting
crates,
mugged.
man.
Someone just asked for his car, his watch, his wallet. He's out on the town with his wife. Pulls out his gun and shoots him. Shoots 5 of them. Make it extreme. They all die. What would you say to that? If their answer is anything other than, well, I'm glad
I remember
you live.
in Bad Company 2, if you play Recon, you're able to call in like airstrikes,
You guys get that. There's
which they love at that.
And I'm not going to try and actively find common ground on a lot. I want to see criminals blown away. If our representatives
behind
do not do
crates
what
and
they're
I'm still
supposed to
getting
do,
hit by
punish them,
fucking bullets.
put them in prison, and make it as uncomfortable as possible. That's great.
Yeah, dog, are the crates made of cardboard?
If not,
Bro, he's on the fucking
you
gut.
protect yourself and your kin.
Our whole team just doesn't
And it's
even
not even a
shoot him.
sad story.
No, it's not. By the way, a few more details on what actually occurred in the situation, right? So we had Big Balls and that's his girlfriend and significant other. They were walking to their car.
Yeah, teammate.
These
Okay,
people
yo.
made a comment about their taking the car or something like that. So he pushed his girlfriend into the car to save her and was then beaten. Right. So obviously they were going to carjack. That's still a hero's move. Local man
There's
saves
like
his girlfriend.
2 fucking
There's
crashed
so many ways to
helicopters here.
approach this in a positive light. Yeah. And it just makes me wonder why. Why not? Why not approach this in a positive way? Yeah. Why not shine a light on somebody doing something that's selfless in this case, saving his girlfriend. Yeah,
I'm about to shoot this guy in the head,
assume the worst.
and then my teammate gets in front of me, so my bullet gets blocked.
When we talk about masculinity, when we talk about feminism, if you look at that, Pitbull doesn't look like he's a guy who would intimidate anybody. That is an act of that man fulfilling his duties. All right, I put my life on the line. I'm the one who answers if something goes bump in the night. I'm the one who takes the bullet. He took a beating and made sure that she was safe. I don't care how much he can bench press. That's the kind of masculinity that we should and need to be encouraging, but we can't. Because if that expectation is set, then we also have to have expectations of women. Because he does that, where the Chris Rock, that means dad gets the big piece of chicken, that means that you follow his lead in that relationship. Why? Because he just took a gang beating for you.
Wait, what the fuck kind of tank is that?
What he
It's
says
an
goes.
anti-aircraft
Happy life,
tank?
happy life, happy king, happy kingdom. How about that? Why?
They get
Because have to
anti-aircraft
shape
tanks
that.
too?
Hey, is that
Basically get a...
Did you just make that? I haven't heard
I don't think
Happy Kingdom before.
I don't think so. I can't take credit for it. But it's just this whole thing. We've centered everything. This crime policy, it is the byproduct of feminism. You understand that too? Just like biological men and women's sports. 80-something% of men oppose it. 70-something% of women support it. It's lower now.
I think they have an anti-aircraft gun.
We're empathetic.
I see treads at the bottom of it.
Bring up that picture. Bring up the picture of what was it in the
shooting at me right now.
Oh, I've got it.
There you go. There's what your empathy gets you. Feminist Democrats. There's your empathy right there on display. Now, that breaks my heart. You know what wouldn't? Every single juvenile suspect looking like that.
It's died like 5 times in a row right now.
Comment if you agree. Because it's not an equivalency. One guy who didn't deserve it, beaten within an inch of his life, that's terrible. People who mug someone, I don't care if they're in a grave. That's what our society, that's how society always operates. Stop being a joke. I'm not advocating going out and Charles Bronson death wishing this thing. What I am advocating is that we all have a mindset on the culture that we want in this country, and that you have these conversations to understand the fundamental difference.
Yo, spawn in the helicopter with me.
Human beings are flawed. We understand that human beings are sinful. As a Christian, that's for me the only way that we can rectify this. The left views people as inherently good, and maybe they've had some tough breaks. Okay, how do you reconcile that with people who chose that day to go out and
wait for them to get out?
Innocent civilians, and when they didn't get what they wanted, beat a man
I wish you could just friendly fire this piece of shit. You're shooting at me, you fucking cunt.
I thought you were flying. I guess the pilot was in the back.
Yeah.
DC has never
There goes fucking idiot.
there
Yeah,
have been more mayors who have smoked crack and or allegedly killed strippers in the mayor's house.
Maybe you should just
Then
fly to a
Republicans who've been
fucking
mayors of DC.
mountain.
So you cannot try and blame this on us.
Hey, Steven, since we're on the topic of federal life in D.C. and talking about Congress and their powers and stuff, I started doing a deep dive into Congress this morning, and I was like, just kept thinking about how weird people are, and
You made another list.
yeah, I made a list.
All right, Josh, what's the list?
So this is this week's top 5 weirdest looking members of Congress.
Okay, all right.
At number 5, we have South Carolina Democrat and former King of Wakanda, James E. Clyburn.
Wow, that is uncanny.
Yeah.
We're actually winning though.
Rest in peace.
Toolman, bring up hold on the overlay until he hits the punch.
At number 4, we have Illinois Democrat and former Notre Dame linebacker Nikki Budzinski.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, jeez.
It's a real Budzinski.
It's Nikki Butkus.
It's like
a little bit. All right.
Number 3, Arizona Democrat and John Hammond's twin brother who fell off the table at birth, Ron Barber. Who needs a barber.
That is. I think he has a barber. It's an anvil. How do you have that flat of a head?
Yeah. Is it like his first attempt at clones?
I have no idea. It's
uncanny though.
All right, number 2.
At number 2, Ohio Republican whose name and head are both screaming, "It's a toupee!"
That was behind us.
Troy Balderson.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Come on. I
And
had to
coming,
look it up and be like, no, that's real.
That's a real name.
That's real. Just go by a stage.
no, the hair's not real. The name is real. The hair is very not real.
Yes,
So
yes.
it was hard to choose a photo. And coming in at number 1, South Carolina Republican and lady at the party who just realized she shit her pants, Cherry Biggs.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Nightmare.
My right eye is running away.
She could be assumed guilty.
She could also
Bitch.
look like the last
Good
descendant of Medusa.
She could. She could. She absolutely. All right.
Not turning anything to stone.
Oh, we appreciate it. The impromptu. This has been Josh Made a List.
Dude, how did that?
And we're going to continue with this and more. Not yet. Not yet. No, no.
I didn't do that 10 times, bro.
If you are not yet. Just. We're supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah, so some of these rocks are making
Come
me
on,
like
you're
jump
dead.
up
You're
and
supposed to know
down.
the showmanship for crying out loud.
That's true.
So if you are not yet
Oh, I
a
think we
member
need
of
to
Rumble
get
Premium, Mug Club is
Objective
Rumble
B
Premium,
to
Rumble
get the
Premium
other
is Mug
tank
Club.
to
Even on
spawn
slow
in.
news days, we're able to do this here with you. None of this happens if not for your
That would
membership.
make sense.
Everything ad-free, 100% more shows.
I just saw it
Friday
spawn
shows,
in
all
once
that
we got
content.
B.
It's your best one-stop shop for free speech. Click right there. Join or try it for $9 a month. And if not, hey, you're going to go on to Tim Pool again, completely free, and you can keep watching until 7 p.m. so that you are in the know. And a pleasant surprise because no one saw this coming. Your favorite gay conservative to the right of Attila the Hun and Latino. It's time for Gay William. All right, there he is. He still doesn't know how to use a microphone. Right there.
That's
I
okay.
think he just doesn't. Yeah. All right. All right. I don't even know why you're saying that. You sound positively for you.
Listen, don't start off with insult.
I know, seriously. Well, I don't. You don't really have a home. You're one of those sort of drifters because it's whoever will have you that evening. Why did you come in so early? Rumble Premium. I'll explain this. What I'm trying to say, Rumble Premium.
I'm the last person to say this in a Battlefield game, but we need bigger maps.
I couldn't believe how much mucus came out of my lungs the first time I tried this. It felt like I could finally breathe again. You've probably been told that once you...
We're being told to buy the orange coin, but these snot-nosed kids are flipping their allowances into $50 to $300 a day with smaller, under-the-radar coins. So, how do we find them? To get wins like this, all you need is $27 and a smartphone. Let me show you how this app works. Last month, my dad showed me his account, and I could hardly believe it. He's a trucker, not a professional trader.
Damn,
But he pulled this off
one
just by
loser
clicking
probably
buttons
camped in a
with
fucking vehicle and got 91 kills.
You get to race other people. So you can just do that. I mean, you just do it in a video game.
I don't want to do that. I'm just going to put on a baseball game and just forget about it.
There you go. There you go. This we have the old air dynes that we used to use in wrestling, and those are they're absolutely.
One person in
cool.
our squad
We're
went
gonna-
38
we're
to
talking
7.
about student loans today, but we're also going to talk about. Yesterday we sort of talked about what kind of a culture do you want to live in dealing with crime, right? The fundamental different worldview, and that was, do you view it as a tragedy when a would-be victim blows someone away? Or do you view it as exactly what should happen or what you would expect? Because leftists and those who are conservative actually look at those same headlines differently. Same thing today when we talk about student loans and the relationship dynamics. If we don't fix this, this is a country that is... Dude, all of it ties in. What kind of a life? Look, if you are young right now, a younger millennial or Gen Z, what kind of a life do you want to live? Do you think that a liberal arts degree, do you think that going to school, do you think pursuing an Ivy League education, do you think that that is going to mean more, be more satisfying, make you happier than a family? Because those are two very different life paths, to be clear. And both of them require compromises and sacrifices. And I just don't think a lot of people are taking this into account, and next thing you know, 26, 27, 28 years old, wondering what happened to the American dream that their grandparents lived. It's still available, but you have some decisions to make. Before we get to that, you should make better decisions when you're in the gym. Let's watch this. No, you know what's happening. This is just...
Oh, no.
Oh,
my God.
Yo, did you see that video of that dumbass woman allowing the the big ball thing to roll under the guy's like workout area and he steps on it and falls over?
No.
Front and center! Cover point!
Andrew Amazing Run's leading us.
All call signs, you are cleared to attack. Secure the OBJs and defend against any hostile acts. Move out.
This piece of shit, dude.
Secure the area! Take the objective! Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Frag away!
There's a guy over here.
Hostiles now control Delta. Target down! Be advised, hostiles now hold objective Alpha. We are targeting objective Bravo.
I just saw 3 people spawn in front of me, dude. Like, what? Wish I knew that spawn.
To attack the marked objective.
We are ahead of the enemy. Mission's on track. We are targeting Alpha. We're attacking objective Echo. We've neutralized objective Echo.
Yo! The RPGs went through this guy. Oh my god, dude, what? That is fucking insane. I literally hard scoped this guy with an RPG, and went through. It's...
Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives.
Bravo has been lost. Need a medic!
Support needed on the marked objective.
Wait, he killed me without getting a headshot? How does that even make sense?
My gosh.
She really rushed over there to help him out, didn't she?
Play that again. She's not paying attention at all to that that ball. Let me see it again.
She sees it, but then she
Get out of my face.
Where did she think it was going?
Whatever. Here, I'll move it. Not in time.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
By the way, just so you know, there's so much wrong with that. Okay? First off, that Bosu ball is useless. There's no reason to use it whatsoever. There's no world. If you see someone squatting on one of those things and like, where's my balance? You're an idiot, okay? There's no value to it. The goal of this is to get as stable as humanly possible so you can gain strength. If you're doing rehab for a broken... Okay, so that's different. Second, she shouldn't just be letting her crap fall wherever it may lie. Third, women and men probably shouldn't be training in the same gym together. And fourth, I don't know why that guy's doing step-ups in the middle of the gym.
Yeah. Why is he doing that anyway?
So you can see him.
Yes.
So you know what he's doing. You know he's working on it.
They want to feel seen. Also, the gym is a very, very safe place to be clear, in comparison to real life, in comparison to the sidewalk, in comparison to the streets, in comparison to other sports. But there are injuries that can take place, and they take place when you are careless, dumb, and not focusing on the purpose of the gym, which is to get stronger. This is one thing we same thing with school, same thing with relationships. People need to approach life, listen, with purpose. Same thing with our representatives in government. Ask yourself, most people don't do this. I don't want to get all philosophical, but most people don't. Okay, I'm going into the gym today. What am I seeking to accomplish? Okay, I'm going to go to college. What is my goal? And then carry out the task with purpose. There's no purpose there. Of course someone's going to get hurt. It's a gaggle of retards. All right.
They actually played the lunk alert.
That's another. That's how you end up with the lunk alert. Because you shouldn't be lifting heavy weights. Well, what's the purpose of the gym? To lift heavy weights.
You should have a hunk alert.
It would go off.
Every time Gerald walks in, it gets disabled.
That's our own gym.
Every time Toolman walks in, it gets a little warm. All right. So here's another one.
Not
here.
lately.
We pulled this off of, I believe it's TikTok.
Dude.
And you've heard me talk
Holy
about this.
fuck, man, I'm literally the only person
I get it.
holding
There's
that
this
down
whole
and I'm getting
sort of
shot from behind
chasm
as
with
well.
Red pill, which, I am not. Orthodox Christians and sort of feel-good self.
Well, if I get like
Christians
4 or 5 like actual good gunfight kills and then I'm
unholy
just get
alliance of people who don't know what it is that they're seeking to accomplish. Relationship dynamics, men, women, marriage, vaccines to be taken in this country as well, you don't have self-governance. Unless you have nuclear families, you do not have self-governance. You need that before municipal, before state, before federal government. Okay. That is broken right now. Young men are not even seeking marriage.
This team is
and young
fucking
women are very
dog
frustrated
water,
with the
bro.
prospects. It goes both ways. This may be a reason as to why, and I'll give you a prescription. It's not mine. It's the Lord's, but it's the exact opposite of what this lady gloating, and I warn you, you're gonna get mad, talking about. I think she's a professional whore.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Talking about
it's technically amateur, but
okay.
She's got her eyes on the prize. Amateur makes more money than you guys.
Okay, we were getting hung up on the wrong word. The key word was whore.
He's not dead, dude.
Debt for that? She went to the school of.
Okay, sometimes when I die and I look at their HP,
So here she is
I
bragging
see some
about how
fucking
conservative
insane
men, and then
numbers
making
after
the
how many
claim
bullets
that,
I hit them with.
Conservative men actually want a liberal feminist because they'll sleep with her.
This is a message to all MAGA women. I want you to know that no matter how much you decide to hate on this, your husband will be free. And he will be asking us to step up because he has a fantasy of a powerful woman dominating him. When I say I get hundreds of messages like this each week, I am not.
You're not powerful. That's a gross assumption. And you're a bad person. Let's continue.
Exactly. Some of them are willing to pay very well for me to insult them or to
$15.
Which is totally fine. Everyone has their own preferences, but when they're married to you and you hate them, there's no one who's doing a lot of
Oh my god, I just fucking ran.
They don't even want that title because
Nice.
sexually, they don't want to be in charge anymore. They're
Is that
tired.
stomp.com?
That other role doesn't come naturally to them, and that should show
There's
you how much
every
of the
single
patriarchy
person on their
is
team.
harmful. Everyone playing this role
What?
they just want to be able to
Like
let
Steve?
loose,
Yeah,
and
Steve
they see
over
feminists
in
as
the
a safe space to do that, while ironically demeaning us a lot. They're not supposed to like it, and yet they're all attracted to us because of the power we have. Still
Wrong.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, except all of that is incorrect.
I'm using the word cunt.
Yeah.
Cheating, not cunt.
Yeah. First off, what power do you hold? Let me break it down this way. And this is a really bad person. This is a person who's taking glee in destroying marriages.
Yeah.
That's what she is. She's the tool. She's the cudgel there that she destroys marriages. The power that you wield has gotten you to be the professional whore as the yang to the gain of married women with families and children. So this is a reflex on conservative women and everyone involved. Her, the man, and yes, the wife are all wrong, to be clear. And we don't need to let it get to this point. She's wrong because she's a whore. He's wrong because he's going to a whore. And the wife is wrong if this man's needs are not being fulfilled sexually, which is agreed that both doesn't talk to each other. And so he goes to a whore. But she seems to think this means that this is what a man wants. This is what a man wants. No, hold on a second. If you avail yourself gleefully as a whore, don't be surprised that men treat you that way. It doesn't mean that that's what they want. It means that's how they see you. And by the way, conservative men, if they're looking to cheat, which is wrong, if they're looking for a whore, they're far less likely to go to another traditional conservative woman because they go, hey, who's going to be a good whore? A feminist liberal. You don't have the things you want. Do you want to be a whore for the rest of your life? And I'm using this word very deliberately. Do you want to be a prostitute for the rest of your life? Is that what you want? If so, you win. Or are you trying to flex because that woman has something that you actually want? And you can say,
Yeah, I turn the corner and there's two people again.
I
Like,
get to be paid to sleep
it's
with
either
him
I
and
get
degrade
kills or
myself,
I get
and,
like fucking
so you don't have
1v3
that on
each.
me. Okay.
And I almost killed one
Because of
guy.
this, men secretly want a feminist? Right.
Like, look at this guy. He's
That's
just
what it is. Yeah, men
spraying
secretly
in a
want
building.
a
He's
chatty
not actually
feminist.
doing
Just like the opposite was confirmed in that earth-shattering peer-reviewed study. Most women want to bang the short, hairy, poor guy. That's what they said. You can read it in PubMed.
There's a bunch of short guys that are watching the show now. It's not real.
You're shaving.
Sorry.
There was a grenade there and no one died.
It's not a necessity. It's just women tend to like height. It's like men with big boobs. It's not a necessity, but it's it's a big bonus. This and this goes back to student loan. We go to student loan, but this is being fed to young women. This is what they really want because he doesn't want to be a provider and a protector. What he really wants is no. And by the way, yeah, the women who are wives, and I know this is not the case all the time. Some guys are absolutely just pigs. Yeah. But I've also seen this in conservative Christian households where it ends up being approved. Hey, you know what? It doesn't make it right for him to go to a professional whore like this. No. But you're actually committing a grave sin against your husband. If this guy is, he's asking you for something, and you're like, no, I don't feel like I have a headache. Guess what? That's not like something you just joke about in a sitcom. That is a destroyer of marriages. None of this is good, and every single person seems to think that they're in the right. I guarantee you, the only person who would say, yeah, that was wrong, would be the guy who went to the whore. He would probably be the only one in this scenario to take accountability in committing a misdeed.
He should.
He should. Of course he should.
Yeah, but they're not. He's not going after her because of her power, like she thinks.
And I'm good.
Right.
I doubt it. I bet you he's scared to tell his wife that he's doing that because she seems pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. My language, but no, it's not. You're not powerful. You're just naked.
Yeah. You're just available.
And there, and you charge us $10 to subscribe.
I doubt he asked her political affiliation too.
No, I doubt.
He's not like, oh, are you liberal? Let me see what
No, but he can assume. He can assume based on the page, probably.
Probably.
And hold on a second. She says this just shows you how harmful patriarchy is. Let me look at this. So I look at a sexually liberated woman who takes pride, satisfaction, and glee in being the whore on the side, causing a man to cheat or taking part in cheating. All byproduct
That's an
of
insane amount of bullets that I
sexual
just put into
liberation
those two
of,
people and they still
feminism
didn't die.
in the 1960s. You think this is patriarchy? This is the issue. We're completely misidentifying the problem. No, this is a problem with feminism. This is a problem with feminism. Let me tell you, if you return to your roots, all of this can be avoided. Guys, look, you know the ABCs and ABCs. Very flawed. I don't proselytize because, gosh, I should never be used as an example, but this doesn't need to be complicated. The starting off point should be the one that we have used all the time. Young Americans, right now, if you are watching, if you are listening, it's almost like would now be a frustrated relationship therapist. It's almost like God wrote a very specific prescription and gave it to you in how to make this work and avoid all this. Okay, I'm going to break this down super simple. You, first, don't feel. Okay. Second, don't nag.
Wow. Yeah, my bullets are just not doing anything right now.
So, don't kiss her. Also, don't be a whore. Both of you just don't be whores. Okay? Life codes last. Some people don't take care. Even if it is.
Holy, okay, dude, I'm not fucking, dude, how many fucking bullets, man?
This is crystal clear.
My God, that's like 4 people that life. That just 8, bro. My God.
Allah Akbar.
Context does always matter.
And I'll tell you, the only reason that these vultures, women like this, are able to come in is because also, look, churches fail these relationships too. Because the churches go, hey, you know what, this is what you're supposed to do. Well, my husband's not the... Well, if he does this, then that. There's no if, this, then that. Men, this is what you need to do. Women, this is what you need to do. Don't worry about him. You don't worry about her. Do it because it's the right thing to do, period. If you focus on that, these whores will be out of a job.
What do they expect is going to happen at the end of their courting as well? Like, what's the retirement plan for whores? And again, I use that word specifically too, and I think it's very appropriate to use somebody who's like, yeah, your husbands are all coming into my DMs, and I'm taking care of what?
Yeah, I don't know, go back to teaching elementary school or whatever you're doing.
I don't think they understand, like, you're gonna...
There's like 1,000 people.
Let's just take the morality out of it for a second.
It's so...
Disconnect those two things. We can bring it back in a second. You're basically saying, look what I've done. Exactly what all men for all time have wanted me to do for them. We've tricked you into doing exactly what we want. It's almost like the Free the Tatas movement. We're like, oh no, don't show your breasts. Yeah, exactly. To highlight breast cancer. Tuesday. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
This team is generationally bad.
Just in like the slightest bit, not even Christian morality, just find some other source of morality.
It's
You
actually
come in and you're
impressive how bad
destroying
this team
people's
is.
lives. You literally are the destroyer of marriages. You just go around ravishing, and then you destroy yourself in the process. How is this possibly where we are today with society? And you're right. More so than maybe I wanted to admit a year ago or 2 years ago, Protestant churches, specifically Protestant churches, have absolutely screwed up the relationship dynamics within Christendom. It is absolutely horrible what they have done. I had to think about this because my initial reaction, maybe many of you were saying that when you said men, you know, if they do this, then that, right? And women, and I'm like, well, yeah, men, you know, we're like men, you have to take care of yourself. I could not go back to a sermon.
Bro, they
In
literally
my
need
mind,
7 people
at the
to kill
multiple
them.
churches that I've been to that are different in a lot of ways, where they were admonishing women in the same way that they were admonishing
See, if our team was better, I could actually get a nice...
Yeah, we do need an admonishment for Joe. Because he said
a nice kill streak around these hills so we can fucking cap it. But
Hit it. But if you were to sit down,
the 1v3.
and again, none of this excuses
They're
any
all
of the misdeeds. If you were to sit down, let's say
Yeah,
one of
they're
our
all in
clients
this
with
fucking-
his wife in a marital therapy session.
if our team goes there after I die.
And you said, did you cheat? That guy would be, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But if before that, he set them down, and he said, well, you know, we have a real problem. We're not having sex. And she would go, well, I don't feel like it. I guarantee you they would go, well, are you making her feel like she wants to? And then that's a moving target. I'm telling you, that is a moving target.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And so that's what happens, and then people find themselves, and they wonder how they got to that point. Look, this is a prescription as far as, and this does matter when you're talking about the root reason for the argument here. Okay, these are your sinful natures. Women, okay, don't whore yourself because women can make money being whores, men can't. But to both, don't be promiscuous. Women, don't be a nag. Okay, don't be a gossip. This is your sinful. Don't do those things. A man is better off on the corner, the roof of a house than with a nagging wife. Right? You have to follow his lead and do what he says. He's in charge of the household, and you have to be tender. Okay, that's what you have to do. Men, don't be violent. I know the way you are because I made you. Don't be prone to violence, okay? Don't be
I
violent.
almost love that game.
Love your
Holy
wife
shit,
as Christ
dude.
loved the church. We can get into what
I
that
should have
means,
had
'cause that's a lot of
45
that wiggle
kills
room
for how
that
much
people
they
get
were
wrong.
eating bullets.
Also, don't be a whore. And look, she's gonna have to follow you, but you have to lead. That means something goes bump in the night, you're the one who handles it. You have to lay down your life for the family, and it also means that you're gonna be the one burdened with all the responsibility, and you will be judged at the foot of God for all of your family's deeds. You will be the one held accountable because you are in charge of it. But what you can't have is that accountability. What you can't have is those expectations, and then, yeah, but this is also a democracy. It can't work that way.
I think this is my least favorite
You
map
hear this
so
all the
far.
time with sermons. I'm going to get on my... But we sat in the pews. It's been a real
I
problem.
think this
They
is my least favorite
yeah,
map
well,
so
then
far.
you have to love her as Christ loved the church. Great. Okay, early church. We can talk about the disciples. We can talk... If you want to talk about the temple and throwing over tables, that doesn't apply. Okay, Jesus did. Did he love anyone more than his disciples? Get away from me. Leave me alone. Do this. Love you. Here's a kiss. Go do that.
Yeah,
No,
but you
Jesus,
got
my
the
opinion
big
is-
one.
So, do you really want the love that Jesus had for his church? You know what that looks like? Do you think that's just flowers and chocolates? Hey, what if Jesus didn't give them enough flowers and chocolates? No. He loved them. And he told them, and he venerated them, and he praised them, and he uplifted them. But he also set a standard, and he also expected there to be a hierarchy in his leadership to be followed. So that's not all with the love. I tell you what, if he loved me like he loved the church, then I would want to speak. That doesn't matter. That's not crossing there. Both of you, men, women, it's hard for guys because of hydraulics if you're not in the mood. I get it. But neither one of you can withhold it. That is a grave, grave sin.
There are other things you can do.
Yes, there are.
Josh is getting wrecked.
And there are only two ways to hurt your neck, and whiplash from a car does not apply here. My point is...
You can mean it that way. There's things...
I read my Bible too much.
The tank close right. Oh my.
Damn you, Songs of Solomon.
That's
Right on that.
a good one.
The close right
What
of that
happened to you?
street.
I was loving my wife as Christ loved the church. I don't think that's how he was doing it.
Yeah.
There's
And
people
then it-
behind
you know what
us,
it does is
man.
If you don't do it, if you don't honor that covenant, it opens the door to these...
I was like, what the fuck is the point of soldiers if they're not gonna fucking deal with the people, man?
As a snake. This person is a viper. It's evil, and I don't just mean she's saying something offensive. She's a bad person who takes glee in acts of evil and destroying what God created as a covenant. That is not someone who should be treated as anything other than...
My God, man.
Hope my words
How many
aren't too
fucking
strong,
teammates
but
are
you
in
can
that same
comment below.
building,
Should
bro?
we maybe get back to our roots with those? Because I know that men want. Do women want that? No one is off the hook
There's
on this
3
one.
of our
That's just- that
teammates
whole
in
thing
the
just
same
sent
building.
me
He just
for a
killed
loop. It's
me
like, oh my gosh, and this is how so many people live.
Yeah, I wish
the
I
whole
could
thing
kill my
started with
teammates.
a point of superiority.
Yeah.
She felt superiority over MAGA women, which is a term that's overused.
Yeah.
Conservative women.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm better than you because your husband is in my DMs.
Yeah.
And I know he's conservative. No way. There's no way I know he's conservative at all. It's just some guy in my DMs. I get hundreds of them. Literally hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Here's an article about cucking, which has nothing to do with this. Here's another one about cucking, which has nothing to do with this.
Right.
Here's another one about cucking, which would be your husband watching you get licked by me. It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
None of it made any sense. It's just she's mad because she doesn't have that. That's what she wants, and she keeps getting used. And she's tired of being used, but she can't stop it.
She brought into the feminist life. Hey, look. Do you think that woman who's unmarried, who sleeps with a new man every single night, who will never see her again, it's nothing more than a cash transaction? Do you think she's in power? That's what you've been sold. Right. And if you reject that, you have to reject everything that comes along with it.
I think this
Without
map's gonna
feminism in the
be
60s,
Put
You
it to
don't
the
have
game at launch.
LGBTQ AIP. You don't have the modern insane welfare state. You don't have sex work as real work. You don't have the pornography industry. They were useful tools to people like Hugh Hefner, Larry Flint, and Dr. Kinsey who wanted men to have a free-for-all. Look up No Fault Divorce. Look up the reason why it actually exists. This is really, really perverse stuff, and we just gloss over it because people have feelings. All right, people have feelings too about South Park. Apparently, some feelings have been hurt. No, actually not on the right, but historically. So last night it was a pretty anticipated episode, and they did a pretty good job.
Some of it. Some of it pretty good.
Some of it. Yes, it was kind of. But Christine Elm, they went in hard. Charlie Kirk, and let me just show you some clips. So the first kind of theme is they were taking aim at ICE. Now they're taking aim at the left, and they've always left, and I think this is still funny. I don't really know what their point is. I don't necessarily know that I agree with them. But South Park yesterday, before we get to Charlie Kirk, here's them making fun of ICE, and it is kind of funny.
They got her poses on.
Yeah, they did get her poses.
Would you like me to apply the video? We're targeting Charlie.
Oh gosh.
Oh, hey. And anyone who is, and very few people on the right, my experience, and they don't get offended by this stuff. So if you have some pro clutching kind of old school people, you can't buy class. No, shut up. You shouldn't be watching comedy.
Yeah, you don't know it, but you don't like comedy.
Right.
No one thinks that they don't like comedy, but you don't.
But it's always weird to me for someone to be offended on someone else's behalf. So on whose behalf are you offended? J.D. Vance thought it was funny. His post is, well, I finally made it. ICE themselves used it. They used a post. They said, join join.ice.gov for a plug. That's awesome. To which South Park responded, wait, so we are relevant? Eat a bag of dicks. Which is funny. It's tasteless. And you know what? It's such a back and forth. This is a very different tenor and tone than when they've gone after, for example, Muhammad or the left. And they did take aim at, I guess I should say, like, conservatives are sort of implied there might be a little bit of personal enrichment with the online content trend. And I think a lot of it was pretty fun.
You don't know a thing about the Jewish people. Yeah, shut up about girls' bodies. Well, that sounds like a very female Jew thing. You guys don't like it, right? Welcome to the channel of truth, guys. Can't trust Jews. White people on the internet. Here speaking the truth about the Jews and the other privileged white class. That's bullshit. Knock it off, lad. You stole my idea.
E-man pills.
Debater, it's me. Let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You right there. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Leviticus 3:17 for your generation now all your friends. You can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortion. I'm sorry, Mom. You told me to go ahead and start masturbating again. This is really getting to be a problem, Eric. Mom, you don't understand. This is really good at this. I have my argument.
Holy fuck.
Destroy them and also edit out all the ones that actually argue back well.
Wow. Dude, even on fucking engineer, I ran out of ammo. That's the streak I'm on right now.
Sounds like a condition.
What I always find funny about South Park is
Yeah, I
they take
think there was like an 11.
Take Cartman as Charlie Kirk. This
so
two-dimensional,
low.
very limited art style. They still nail it, where you just look at it and go like, oh, it's him. Like, oh, that's Cartman as Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, the picture came out, like, I think last week with Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk immediately was like, new profile picture.
Yeah.
He knew it was him.
Well, he plastered it everywhere. And look, in Charlie Kirk, I don't believe it.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
think it's how people who say, you know, that Jim, we never did that. We just structured the order so that ones were relevant to them and live too. That was the whole point. We started to change my mind early on was conversation completely unedited where you see them. We'll cut out people who would come in and like plug their new supplement or Senate funds. You'd have people come in and go like, hey, go to my website.com. We're like, no, get out of here. So I don't necessarily I wouldn't get into it too much. But he made his entire profile South Park that he's capitalizing on. Also, Charlie Kirk knew about this last week and reacted pretty positively when he first found out.
As you see, Benny Johnson's tweet up on screen there, which is
He got a haircut.
Hartman is playing Charlie Kirk, which is pretty cool.
Well, if you love South Park, it helps if you get the central character.
Yeah, that does help, and also that's pretty cool. It's probably not how I would respond if I was super jazzed. Yeah. Like, I'm kind of leaning into this, but oh lord, what's about to happen?
Yeah, of course. And you know, look, it also means that, hey, South Park is a pretty good bellwether as to what the zeitgeist is. This is something that's become relevant. Right? They used to just make fun of those in legacy media, those in Hollywood, with George Clooney, with Matt Damon, with Alec Baldwin, like the film actors in Team America.
J-Lo.
Yeah, that means that this kind of content has become mainstream. When that happens, yeah, you become a target. So I see that all as a win, and I think it's pretty funny. Our lights are going nuts.
I thought I heard one.
Let's compare this to those on the left, how they reacted. So remember they did the Macho Man Randy Savage Revenge episode? Really funny. I'm a woman, man. Yeah. Well, they didn't take it, so world cycling champ, well, tranny champ Rachel McKinnon wrote this back in. Yes, it's transphobic. Yes, it's lazy. Yes, it contributes to harm to trans women and girls. But they're lazy and increasingly irrelevant. By the way, that's what they always do when they try and criticize comedy. They go, well, it's fine. It's just not funny. Also, it does harm to the well, it sounds to me like you think it does harm. It's something that's not funny.
Right. Also, they have a giant contract that just
yeah.
If it's irrelevant, it's not doing harm.
Yeah, exactly. And she went on to say, South Park has been deeply transphobic the entire time. This isn't their first explicitly transphobic storyline. It won't be their last. Stone and Parker are transphobe. Write them off. Ignore their lazy show. That's the difference in the worldview.
Yeah.
I tell you, listen to what the other side is saying. Don't write them off. Study their playbook. That's why we make all the references publicly available, bibliography, every single show. So you know what they're saying. The left isolates themselves. We spoke about this with last week. Yeah. We were coming up on YouTube, like I started in 2008, 2009, and even when him and I would do interviews maybe 2014, 2015, you'd run into a leftist, they'd have pretty airtight arguments. Like it would be a back and forth. Now it's like the left has gotten so lazy, they don't even know where to go, or you prepare for something that never really transpires, because their mindset is, if you disagree, just don't listen. Don't listen to them. Yeah. Don't understand their arguments. Don't try and don't steel man them. Just shut them off. And then when faced with reality, you know, like a national election, they don't know what to do.
I really think that these guys are transphobic. Like the entire episode was highlighting the absurdity of men and women's sports.
Yeah.
Which everybody's pretty much on board with.
Yeah, I think that the Trey Parker and Matt Brown, I think they're pretty liberal guys.
Yes.
But they also recognize...
They're more
okay. Yeah. But they also recognize that there's a problem in society where you're not allowed to say certain things. You're not allowed to talk about certain things. Right. You're not allowed to actually analyze a situation that could be actually dangerous just because you want to protect the feelings of one marginalized person.
Right. Yeah. No, and I think they have they sort of have a description of being anti-authority no matter what. So now they would seem more liberal because those in power that was conservative.
I fucking love doing this, man.
Or even when George Bush was president, they kind of went after the left with a constant beating of the same drum. So they are equal opportunity offenders, and I think they're a national treasure.
They didn't do Biden. I know what's up with that.
They didn't do Biden.
I found that out recently because I said that online. I said they make fun of everybody. Everyone was like, they didn't make fun of Biden. I didn't make fun of Biden. I was like, oh, okay.
It is weird. It was a blind spot.
It is weird.
For
Maybe
sure.
they felt like it was punching down.
Maybe they.
Elder abuse.
Not supposed to
I
make
don't know.
fun of
Maybe
retarded
lines we don't know about.
Let's go to other people. They, you know, right now, of course, they just had Satan, and they've done things that many people would consider sacrilegious against Christians. Christians haven't really done much. I'm like, you know, maybe I won't watch it, or I didn't like, I'll skip that episode. Contrast that with Muhammad, again, another marginalized community that the left has created an unholy alliance with. The Revolution Muslim group said that South Park's creators were probably going to, they said, we'll probably wind up like Theo Van Gogh, who was killed, by the way, for making a film critical of Islam. So that's not a veiled threat, that's just a threat. And they also said, whoever curses the messenger of Allah must be killed.
That's not a random quote.
And Comedy Central tried to censor the episode. So I guess you just put a censor bar over Muhammad, because we can have Satan and Jesus on here and do all kinds. You never censored it before. So whether you like what they did or not, you do have to appreciate that these guys are pioneers, and you need those people out there. Otherwise, you end up with the censorship of everybody. And what's your take right now on the direction of South Park? Do you still watch? I haven't seen it in a while, but it's not because I don't know where to find anything anymore.
Yeah.
It goes from Hulu to Netflix to then HBO. Where is this? I thought this was a Comedy Central show, but I have to get it next to Chris Wallace on HBO Max.
Most of the time, if I don't see it on X, I will go to other places and watch it. Like if I see a clip or something, I'll go find the episode to watch.
They're on HBO back on Paramount Plus now, but regardless, they had a couple of really bad seasons.
They're on Paramount?
Yeah.
Didn't they just sign it?
That usually happens after like 15, 20 years, though. I mean, how long have they been on the air? That's about how
Season
long.
27.
Yeah, dude, wow. 27 years. So, I mean, you're going to have some bad years in there.
Yeah,
no one makes gold for 27 years. It just doesn't happen. That's why Seinfeld stopped after 9.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. But you're right. We need stuff like we need to be made fun of. We need the right people to make fun of things. People always talk about the left. Will always talk about we're losing our democracy to fascism. It's like, well, if I was, I wouldn't be able to watch your show.
Yeah.
This would not be on right now. Rachel Maddow, I would not be able to watch you.
Yeah.
If this was a fascist country, you'd be gone so fast.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have time to scissor your sister in prison.
I don't think that Mussolini would have taken kindly to a cartoon of him lubricating Satan's sphincter. That's true.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, like, I don't know J.D. Vance. I've never met him. I'm pretty sure he would have laughed initially and gone,
Yeah, of course he
why did they do that with me? Like,
He's
he
on
may
the
have gone,
fucking
like,
bridge,
back to,
man.
It's the left who doesn't have a. I actually had someone one time at a Change My Mind
what a
walk by
loser.
a liberal. We didn't get on camera. She said, "Yeah, hey, how does it feel to be a meme?"
One of the top things of all time.
Yeah, sure. Some people use it to make fun of. Well, what am I gonna do? All right, that's how it works. Cool. You're
Right here.
telling me that I should be offended? I'm going to meme.
Is that a big tank?
I don't care.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
The worst thing when you do a stand-up show,
Yeah,
someone asks about with you afterwards, and like, just so you know, I have a sister who has progeria or is retarded, or
they're behind you,
depending on what I make fun of that day. I don't. Why do you think? Why do you feel the need to talk to me about this? I don't care. I don't know you. I don't care.
Goodbye. I'm gonna make the joke.
Yes. Yeah, I actually had someone got really offended at a Native American.
It's like, oh, if I don't do that joke anymore, will they stop being Native American?
Right. So what I did
Is that gonna change it?
on principle, it's the only time I've ever had someone write, went to Nick DiPaolo and said, hey, can you take this and make it meaner? And Nick said, I don't think I can make this meaner. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, done. That's a badge of honor. Hey, you guys know about super chats, right? Where people ask you for money, where we rattle our cup.
Yeah, I want to do it.
We don't do super.
No. Hey, don't do that.
We give you money. It's time for reverse super chat. And reverse super chat is brought to you by the folks at Pure Talk. Right now, they are going.
Well, you can't run if you're on fire. Fuck off.
A different track. PureTalk.com/crowd. You get 50% off your first month. They have 100% US-based customer service, which is no small thing when you're trying to deal with help on your phone. And I switched to them. I get better service than I did before for significantly less money. There's no reason not to switch, and they're giving away right now. It's 50 free Rumble Premium subscriptions to those in the chat. Right now. There you go. 50. So you want them
So
to...
if you got one,
Yep.
Shout us out on Instagram, on X, or wherever you do the socials, and let us know that you got it because they want to make sure it's fruits of the bay.
Yes. All right. I have to solve the student loan crisis. But before that, this is never ending.
Oh boy.
Sydney Sweeney, Vox decided to wait in. And I always have to be careful because Vox is the reason that we're only streaming on Rumble, that we were demonetized. Our entire business model changed because of some lispy homosexual who presented videos and we had the gall to criticize him.
He's a sprite.
He's a sprite. He's a fairy.
Sprite.
We can say that.
And half Mexican.
Brain. Yep.
Ooh, that wasn't me.
Mexican sprite.
Specific instance, yes. When you use the full word, it means it.
Yeah.
When you use fag, it's just messing with your friend.
Mexican Sprite, not as good as Sprite.
No, it's not.
Mexican Coke, better.
Better.
Mexican Sprite, not so much.
It's real cane sugar.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, you know,
I like cane
it
sugar.
costs more to use cane sugar than corn syrup, and Mexicans are so poor. So,
We're getting a little off topic.
we're going to start with the TikTokers and then go to Vox. They did an entire write-up on Sydney Sweeney. And I bet you the person who did this write-up definitely went to a university to get a liberal arts degree. This is why our society is failing. But first, here's actually part trois of the outrage that is still going on over a cute girl selling jeans.
This is so bad.
Wow, I love how I'm hitting him and he just can still headshot me.
Constant representation.
Like right now.
Okay, in
Right.
entertainment, in fashion, in letter turning. It's not that they want to see more white women. It's that they want to see none of anyone else. For a story about food, it sure has a hell of a lot of asterisks.
Okay. So first off, sure, there's been plenty of blondes, but also been plenty of brunettes. There's also been plenty of redheads. There's also been plenty of Hispanics, also plenty of black women, Asians. And just the reason that blonde is considered attractive, you understand this, right? Because blonde is a sign of youth, right? You get older, you don't have blonde hair, so that's why human beings, men, have
Killed them all. Die.
Hello? Where are you guys? Oh, you guys are back already? Okay. Okay, bye. Alright, I'm gonna get off. I'll play later.
Okay.